medical study on the effects of marijuana use confirms that everyone knows you're high and that you'll most likely never stop feeling like this.
Your parents know you're high. Your friends know you're high. Strangers on the street know you're high.
Welcome to Everyone Knows You're High. Hosted by Uncle Kalei.
You're gonna never come back, you know, all that stupid shit.
And Uncle Erik.
If I could retreat away.
Yeah, you should definitely try that.
This is forever. This is the new reality.
Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show.
Everyone knows you're high.
This episode is brought to you by Mills Nutrients.
Friendship joint.
Ooh, I love friendship joints. I love rolling joints and friendship. I love friendship.
I love smoking joints. What else? Go for it.
I don't really like smoking them, but I love rolling them. You know, one thing I also don't like is growing weed because it seems so cumbersome and difficult. Knowing what kind of nutrients and products to use, it can become cumbersome, like I said.
Cumbersome is the word for this commercial.
Whoa, wait a minute. This is some fire weed. Who grew this?
Yours truly.
Thought bubble.
Well, you can. If you come
You
by
can hear
our
my thoughts?
Yes.
Oh my God.
You know that, man. If you come by our shop, we can help you out. Mills pays the bills, man. That's all you need to know.
What shop?
Guru's Grow Supply.
Where?
It's in Pearl City.
Ooh.
Majestic Pearl City.
Another one of my favorite things. Pearl City. How long has Mills been providing these high quality nutrients for?
Premium nutrients for 30 years. I've been cracking at it for about 13, so yeah.
Which is pretty crazy because if you didn't know, he's only 14 years old.
Because I was one.
But cool. So I'm gonna roll this friendship joint to celebrate our friendship. I love friendship. And to celebrate our love for millsnutrients.com.
Definitely do it. Millsnutrients.com. Check them out. Mills pays the bills.
Can we do something? 1, 2, 3. Mills pays the bills. Start the show. Be sure to check out our other sponsors. Brutal Mars Arts for all your typography, letter, and illustration needs. Check them out on Instagram, Brutal Mars Arts. Hybrid Collective in beautiful Kaimuki. Check them out for all your heady pieces to your affordable pieces. Anything glassware needed, you can check out Jay at Hybrid Collective. Pakalolo Farmers, check out Auntie Farron and Uncle Ikaika for the best apparel you can find. Pakalolo Farmers on Instagram, check them out. And Print Shop Hawaii for all your printing needs, shirts, stickers, banners, and the like. All right, let's start the show for real this time. We ready? Is the camera on? Me? Sure. All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Everyone Knows You're High, starring the Grow Guru and myself, Uncle Erik. Joining us this week, Monica Fearless Franco, all the way from beautiful Utah.
If you say so. Nah.
Hey, all land is beautiful. Every place has its own beauty.
Fair.
Right. Sometimes the sunlight hits that dilapidated building the certain way, and it looks beautiful, even though it's fucking abandoned and burned down. You know what I'm saying? That one
That's
house,
true.
that one old house on Pensacola that's been burned down for weeks, and they never do nothing about it.
Fucking name drop Pensacola.
Yeah.
Like my auntie lives there, bro.
Golden hour when you're driving home, it looks fucking beautiful.
Between the hours of 5 and 6 is like you'll get the best glimpse of that house.
Yeah. Maybe I'm looking at things through a cinematic perspective because I think like that'd be a good backdrop for something.
Yeah, a fucking horror
Fair.
movie.
Horror movie. All right. Thank you for joining us, though. Sorry, I didn't mean to get us off track that much. Just taking a stroll down memory lane.
It will happen though from time to time.
Yep.
Perfect.
That's
You're
kinda-
fine. May I also add that this is my first, I've done a bunch of podcasts. This is my first Hawaii podcast.
Oh, yeah?
So I'm yeah, I've never been on a podcast that was from Hawaii before, so I'm very excited.
There's not too many of us. There's a handful.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, I think it's super nice that like, you know, we started off as like a weed podcast, kind of like bringing awareness for Pakalolo, but over time it kind of changed to like everything culture. You know, Hawaii, you know, weed's part of our culture as well. But what comes with Hawaii is so much diversity in our culture. Like, I mean, you just said the rich combat history of Hawaii and how we're able to stand up, and our combat is, you know, like you said, second to none in the world.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's something to highlight is the badass people of Hawaii.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you on that. There's so, I mean, me was just talking about it, but yeah, you know, you talk about, I mean, we go back to like what, BJ, you know, even people like Nico Vitale. I don't know if you guys know Nico, but like
Ron
Nico
John.
Vitale, like Kala Kalohe Hose, you know, like I saw all those guys fight in the Blaisdell and shit. So, you know, like they are the, what do we call them? Not the I guess the pioneers,
Pioneers,
of,
yeah.
you know,
The
of like Hawaii
Trailblazers.
combat.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
Dennis, you going back to Dennis Alexio,
Oh, that's my hero, bro.
right?
That's my hero.
Yeah.
Fucking
Dennis
kickboxing in a
Alexio.
tea leaf fucking
T-leaf skirt. And
Or,
then,
yeah,
like,
I was thinking, Lucky. Yeah,
no
yeah. I
matter
was trying to
who
think of
they
the
put
Hawaiian
in front
word.
of him, he finished everybody, bro. It was awesome.
And he was in a
Wait,
movie with fucking Jean-Claude Van Damme.
He didn't finish that guy.
Yeah.
He didn't
But he's
finish
from
that guy.
Hawaii. Dennis Alexio is from Hawaii.
Yeah.
Oh shit. I didn't. I mean, I kind of heard. I mean, wow. Okay. Born and raised.
Born and raised, yeah.
There's videos online of him fighting at Blaisdell.
Yeah. I remember
Wow.
I went to go see him fight Mad Dog. Whoa, what was that?
What was that?
No, we're fine. I went to go see him fight this guy called Mad Dog, and then his promo was he bit a head off a pigeon.
Ugh.
And then
Ah.
fucking that guy was huge, and they put him against Dennis, and Dennis was like the Superman of Hawaii, right? And Dennis kicked his fucking ass. And I remember watching that at the Blaisdell, like, oh my god, yeah, it changed my life, man.
Crazy.
Right? That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Seriously. Even the boxer too. Jesus. Huh?
Oh yeah,
Ooh, the
I mean,
Hawaiian
there's
punch.
Gannigans, you know the Gannigan family. That guy was a championship boxer back in the day too. He started a Waipahu boxing gym, which is like
Oh, okay.
put out what's his name that fought Manny Pacquiao, Brian Valoria.
Oh, yeah. Him
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Yep.
Shit, yeah. He's an Olympian.
Right.
Didn't he fight in the Olympics?
He did, and I believe
Yeah,
he
he did.
medaled in the Olympics.
He did.
Yep. That's a lot to be
Written
saying, you know,
history.
about the fighting history of Hawaii. And, you know, like even culturally, back in the day, and we got a little taste of it fucking yesterday with that live. Back in the day, justice would be served on the streets. You would straight up
Right.
fight. And there was rules. Again, another post. There was rules to the fight is if a guy says stop, it's over. You won.
Right.
It's done.
Right.
There's no weapons. There's no retaliation. I mean, you catch the round twos, but after that, it's kind of, you know. And a lot of the people
Yeah.
you fight become friends, too. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
I think are you talking about that post where the girl was getting bullied
Yeah.
and bust up? Yeah, I know. I
And
know.
a part of me disagrees with it, but a part of me agrees with it because, like,
Wait, explain the post real fast because I'm not sure I'm on the same page with
so
you guys about this.
a dad took his kids to go, which are trained fighters, to go and get some justice for that girl that got bullied and got beat
Okay,
up.
let's run it back. Let's rewind it a little bit more for people who watching might not understand. So there was an incident where this girl just bullied and attacked and physically knocked out a girl who's on
Correct.
the autism spectrum, right?
Yes.
And there's video of it. They posted it. So a group of locals
That
went
actually could fight.
to go find the the girl who's responsible.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, that's where we're at, right?
And
Well,
that
basically, it was a guy that
Who's
owns
that?
a boxing gym, yeah.
yeah, that
Yeah.
was
His
Tico.
nieces.
Yeah.
Right.
What's up, Mr. Butt Naked?
Yeah.
So,
So I think like for me growing up in Hawaii, that's kind of justified because the cops weren't quick to respond. It was a post that was
Sure.
done and it was a couple days, and it took the public to do that because I already commented on another page that like it was the distrust in our justice system that made people get out of their seats and seek justice
Right.
themselves. So, and
Vigilantes, dude. Everybody wants to be Batman.
well, it's
Right.
for a good cause because this girl couldn't defend herself and.
Most vigilantism is for a good cause,
Yeah.
right? You're defending the
Yeah.
defenseless.
Those lines can get blurred though.
But like
It
you said,
can.
sometimes when a community feels the police or the law enforcement isn't doing their job or isn't gonna come, then they will take it into their own hands, right?
Right.
So
That's
Right.
exactly what it
I mean,
happened.
maybe it would have been a better thing if it was more immediate, but to wait not like they waited, but it's 2 days later. You said.
Yep.
So that adds a difference to it, right? Because
Yeah.
usually Batman swoops in as the act's happening and fucking saves the day.
Yeah.
Sure. Right. Like immediately. Well, my thing is like that is so unacceptable for sure. But at this in the same breath, and I'm not even like justifying what those girls did to that other girl. What is going on in those girls' lives
Mm-hmm.
at home or wherever that is making them act a fool like that to other people?
And it
You
can,
know, it's so quick to like point the finger at these girls because they deserve it, but they still teenagers, you know.
Mhm.
It's like hopefully they figure this shit out because it's just unacceptable. It's not okay, but they're still girls.
They're children,
you know,
too.
their minds haven't even matured yet.
yep.
Yeah.
So
But I remember like at high school, you would still grow up with the school of hard knocks, right? So you'd say something, someone would come in and you guys would fight and that would be it. And that's part of
Paul.
growing up. Paul already, and the thing is, if you watch the video, she's special needs and they all know that.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Yeah.
more of a predatory attacking for social media. And
Ugh.
I'm sorry to say that that's where society is for these children nowadays, is that they'll act a fool because it'll get them likes, and
Gee.
I think a old school beating will fucking certainly set an example of, hey, Instagram's not the real world.
There.
That's the
Yeah.
fucking real world. Someone knocking on your door, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think one thing to consider is like these girls resorting to that level of violence against a defenseless person. Like you gotta think like what you're saying. What's happening at home? Maybe
Yeah.
like who's hurting them?
Yeah.
Hurt people, right?
Yeah.
And for them
Exactly,
to have
exactly.
that level of like predatory activity against a defenseless
Defenselessness.
girl, like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Correct.
crazy. And before we started, you were playing the girl's apology,
Mhm.
and then I'm not laughing at the thing. I'm laughing because of the ridiculousness of the statement, of the part I heard that caught my attention, where she said, "I didn't even want to fight." But it's like,
Right.
what happened there and what transpired in that video? It wasn't a fight. You were just beating her up
Attacking.
and she
Yes.
was not fighting. It's not like she came up to you and
Absolutely.
like was like, "Fuck you, I'm gonna lick you," and you had to defend yourself and you say, "I never like fight." That's not what happened, and it's kind of disingenuous. It's like you're just trying to apologize to appease on social media. Maybe, you know what I mean? Maybe that's the case where she's trying to.
I mean, you want to talk real shit? She probably was on that live, like, oh my God, all these girls are showing up to my house. And was like, I
Yeah.
better go turn myself into the cops because that's the only people that can
Yeah.
protect me right now.
Right.
And then when she's in jail, a lawyer was like, hey, this is what you got to say. Study this, because when you come out, the backlash of the public is going to make it seem like you're a victim. I mean, let's cut out the bullshit here. You know what I mean? Like, that's right shit. But, you know, like, that is a perfect lead into your example where someone can grow up with that culture and take that energy and translate it to a profession, right? And that's kind of where we're at right now with you. It's, you know, you chose this profession. And again, like, for the people that didn't tune in before we started, like, where'd you start off with? You said Taekwondo?
Right. I started off in Taekwondo, but I got bullied a lot too in school and from just cousins who like now growing up and processing trauma in life and everything, all of that shit wasn't okay. So yeah, I got bullied heavily for a long time. So I started Taekwondo when I was 15 as an outlet, uh, and that got my black belt there at Oahu Taekwondo Center. They had a kickboxing program that I was a part of too. So
Nice.
that's where it started for me. Prior to that, though, I tried to dabble at Waianae Boxing Gym and all that shit, but bullying happened and I just felt uncomfortable and anxiety and just never really, was ever, I wanted to, but I just wasn't consistent because of all the bullying. And yeah, so fortunately, the gym that I ended up at was a environment where I still dealt with a lot of anxiety and insecurities, and because of all like just life situations coming up until that point. But that was the start for sure of channeling what you said, all of that shit that I was dealing with besides bullying, witnessing abuse happen and all these types of other shit. So that was definitely the place where it started to channel. Yeah, that was the spark.
And that usually what everything stems from is like bullying in high school gives people like, I got to protect myself. And then that's a good foundation because you're using martial arts as a way to defend yourself, which is what it was truly intended for.
Sure.
But you're getting started off in the right foot where you're not the aggressor. So when you approach combat sports, it's like a sport. It's not like
It
a
is.
fight for survival.
It is. It is an actual sport. And I think what I'm really trying to just bring, like, with my platform is just the art of it all, because it really is a martial arts. It's not like somebody going out and acting a fool, which I mean I've done that in my life. When you're younger and you still processing life and you're learning shit. Oh, now I can scrap. Okay, there was a couple times I did act a fool. However, I was defending myself in those street fights, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like I was like going out of my way to be a bully, but like it came down to that point where, okay, fuck it, let's scrap.
Right.
But I went on a tangent there. My bad.
No, that's solid. That's a good reflection. It's a good what's it called? Depiction of the past,
Yeah, but the art, that's what I wanted to get back to. I feel like a lot of fighters who don't come from a traditional martial arts background, like you said, there is discipline that is involved. There's integrity, there's self-control, there's perseverance, there's all of these things that you learn as a true martial artist that sometimes I think some fighters don't portray.
Right.
And so hopefully with my platform, I can just continue to be an example of the art itself, the love of the art and the passion behind of it, and the just all these different reasons for martial arts. And I think for the most part, a lot of Hawaii fighters do a great job of that. Obviously, you see Max, Russell Doan, Lowen Tainanes, like all these fighters that I grew up in the circuit with. Even like John Bernard, he's in bare knuckle now and he's doing phenomenal there. I think I really commend our fighters for how they handle themselves, if that makes sense.
Russell's a super
Something
nice guy. Yancey we had
absolutely.
on, Shojin, Justin Sagara. Everybody that fought MMA that we've had on has been the super mellow. Like, you wouldn't know they fought unless you saw their ears. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, yeah. I think Hawaii does a really wonderful job of producing great, talented fighters who are good examples. So, and you go way back too, people like Nico Vitale, Dennis Alexio, like you talk about, and Kala Kalohe Hose, or I think it's
Yep.
Hose.
Yep.
Like, he was from Waianae.
Right.
And he was kind of an inspiration for me because I saw him fight a couple of times in Elite XC. I think he fought, who the hell did he fight? I think it was that Phil Baroni dude.
Yeah, he beat
I'm
Phil
pretty-
Baroni. Yeah, you're
He
right.
fought Phil Baroni, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, man. And yeah, every now and again, I mean, BJ do small kind, crazy kind stuff or whatever, but like,
So
for the most part,
That's
we
a
good.
a current day conspiracy theory that I'm wanting to see unfold.
bro,
I want to
that's
see
a
what
whole
the
podcast in itself.
I want to see what the fuck happens. Like, is he right? Like, imagine if he's right, and like,
Bruh.
holy shit, they took out his family and replaced them. Like, dude, that's
What the-
next level shit. I'm
But
hoping.
what is his story behind that? Do you know much about it or like?
Well,
the
from
Suicide Squad. or
from what I
Sabotage
can
Squad.
gather from his posts that I've seen,
Yeah.
he's alleging that the government took out his family and replaced them with, I don't know, other people, actors who are portraying to be his family members in order to steal his family fortune from underneath him.
Yes.
Holy shit, that's wild.
That
It's
is-
pretty
it's
fucking wild.
dude. It's crazy.
That's so wild.
but
Yeah, okay. We'll see how that one unfolds.
Crazier things have been theorized and have come true
I
in
mean,
this
look at
world.
Alex Jones, right?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
I have a question.
Frogs
from,
are gay.
Yeah, I have a question from Big Al Madaris. We're on live too, so they're just chiming in to see, So Brother Al says, "Who was your toughest opponent in Hawaii? And will you jump in our next Destiny MMA show to fight in Hawaii once again?"
Oh wow, that just like makes my heart melt because I do want to come back home to Hawaii to fight, but me and John Bernard have been in talks. We're trying to really promote bringing BKB down to Hawaii at some point. But toughest fighter from Hawaii, oh, I fought some really good.
I know you just had a
I would
whole
have to-
list of tough women that you fought.
Yeah, I mean, because I honestly, it would have to be Angela Lee.
Angela
I
Lee?
think
What was
Angela
it about?
Lee. Yeah, I fought people like Chantel Berengue and Jessie Moniz, and even this other tall Tiani girl. But I would say Angela Lee for sure.
You know what's pretty weird about
Um,
Angela Lee? You look at her, and you look at other fighters in her weight class, and you expect them to decimate Angela Lee every single time.
Right.
And she
Right.
holds her own, if not wins, all the time.
Right.
Which-
Yeah.
What was it?
That was a good fight.
What was it about her that was so tough?
My weight cut. I dropped her in the first round. Like I dropped her. I don't know if Big Al was at that one, but I dropped her. And then the cornerman, he's also my former coach, evidently said that she doesn't even remember how she won. I don't know how true that is, but he told me that. He told me she doesn't. After I dropped her, she went into autopilot and she didn't remember how she won. I think the hardest thing about that match was just my energy levels, and she did a good job of capitalizing on me once I slipped and missed, and she was on me like an opihi. But she was grounding and pounding me and everything. I was like breathing, I was moving. Kevin Yoshida was actually like, "Monica, are you okay?" I was like giving the thumbs up because like she was wailing on me, but her punches were like starting to slow down because she was small kind getting gassed. So I was like, okay, I can weather this storm. But she caught in a sneaky armbar on me, and I thought I could have I just didn't know if I went one way and just jumped right over, I could have countered that.
Right.
But she caught it tight enough to where I couldn't anymore. So yeah, Angela Lee for that reason, and because I got a few opportunities to train with her. I respect her work ethic. We're not like best of friends or buddies or whatever, but I respect her work ethic. I really do as a martial artist, and
The whole
I give her
family-
credit for that.
The whole family, pretty much, their work ethic shows.
Yeah.
From
Yeah,
Christian
absolutely.
to Angela, even to the two younger ones. Like, they're
Yeah.
all animals, all of them. But
Yeah.
I mean, you fought not only her, like Rachel Osovich, you were saying.
Mhm.
Who else have you fought?
Keani Sabala, Raquel Pauluhi.
there you
Raquel
go.
Pauluhi was actually Canuto, I think now. I'm so sorry, I forget her last name, but she was tough in itself because she was like off the bat just this collegiate wrestler, and my coach just fucking threw me in with her. Yep, you're going. I'm like, okay, here we go. You go, you watch that fight. Like once I start popping her and shit like that, she goes in for the takedown. She takes me down, and I didn't know much shit at the time. And I go back and I watch. I'm like, oh wow, I'm kind of moving a little bit on the ground. Like, okay, cool. Wasn't like that bad for my first fucking fight.
Right.
So,
Oh, that was your first fight.
yep.
Woo.
Yeah.
So what do you do to prepare for wrestling now, or do you even prepare for wrestling now that you just do bare knuckle?
I do Greco-Roman style now
because you gotta
they
tie
allow
up.
they allow the dirty boxing and the clinch and all that stuff. But if Big Al ever wants to bring me back for like bare knuckle shit or something, let me know.
You heard that, Big Al? Bare knuckle in Hawaii. Let's go.
He can't hear that.
Bro.
You got to tell him.
No, we'll tell him when he sees this. He'll know.
Okay. But I do want to come back home to Hawaii. Me and John Bernard, we talk story every now and again, and we're trying to push to bring BKB at some point to the Blaisdell.
There's never been a bare knuckle event in Hawaii before? Only on the streets of Waikiki.
Yeah, everywhere. Outside 939, bro. I get bare knuckles every night.
Oh, that's a reference.
Yeah, bro. That's the bare knuckle. But yeah, because it would be, if we can bring it home, then it would also help other fighters too, which is what I really want, because my journey has through this industry. And when I started, and you go through like injuries and life and whatever, fighters, it's so hard for us to get these opportunities, I feel. So if we can find a way to bring this back and get other fighters from home these opportunities, then why not? Not to mention, I feel like it would just help with shit and people not fighting on the fucking streets if they're in there, training at the gym, getting ready for an event and stuff. So
just opening up the market to Hawaii's talent, right? So bare knuckle, especially, like, thank God for Nito Gym, right? Nito Gym brought proper boxing, got a lot of kids off the streets. I mean, with Asa Stevens is a pretty decorated pro right now. And I forgot the other guy's name, but he just won by fucking knockout. And
right.
you figure, like, imagine how much kids that would be willing to just try bare knuckle straight off the bat, and how successful they'd be.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I hope so. That's one of our end goals is to bring it home at some point, for sure.
Yeah,
it's all about home now. The older I get, like, it's so weird. It's like it's all about home. Like, I do dream to fight in the Blaisdell one day. Other people dream to like fight in the Staples Center or whatever, which is cool. I had that moment, but like the older I get, like as I finish off my career, because I only got like 7 to 9 years left in me, I want to hopefully bring it home,
For career-wise, you think bringing it home is a good move?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, for sure. I think so.
What's your long-term plan as far as after you're done with the fights and after you're done with your thing, doing your thing?
Just business, the clothing brand. Obviously, we're growing that, and then I'm probably going to get into some type of coaching. I'm already at a gym that they picked me up over here in Utah, so definitely something on the training people for sure, and giving back in that way, because that's just my jam. It's my my passion, and I hope to inspire like other people, to just learn a skill set. Even if you don't want to fight, learn the skill set, come for your mental health, come to get better quality of life, and then hopefully also train fighters. I have a few fighters up here now that they're training under me, and so yeah, definitely that route.
That's killer. What is what made you go to Utah?
My ohana, and I couldn't afford it back home, not on my own. I was in a very toxic relationship, and I think that kind of prolonged my fight career in a sense.
Oh.
And when that happened, I made the jump to Utah because I couldn't really stay and afford it, and mentally and emotionally it just wasn't at,
Yeah.
but I don't feel like Utah is permanent. I just feel like I needed to make the jump for now.
Totally. And sometimes like if you want to like say isolation, right? So like isolation makes you focus on your goals a lot better, especially if you're in a place that's in contrast to where you're brought up, right? And your goal is to go home. So you
Yeah.
have this sense of like drive when you train every day, and that's beautiful too, because a lot of people just coast about life with no direction, right? And like
That's true. I did that I mean, if I wasn't, yeah, I get it. Yeah, I'm not gonna add on. I get that.
how's
Absolutely.
how's the training in
Perfectly
Utah?
said, Grow Guru. You
Thanks.
summed it up perfectly.
How's the training in Utah? Like, as the difference between Utah and Hawaii?
The altitude sucks, but I love it because it's harder. So I know I meant to push because it does help with my conditioning. As far as the talent is great up here, but it's still not like home for sure.
No.
But there's great talent. It's a they're building, I have like my spots up here that I go to. Like there's Court McGee's gym, Agima. They have, good talent over there. And then the gym that I just started up at Wasatch Combat Sports, they have some good talent over there. So
That's
I
awesome.
mean, it's not bad, but I think it's building, it's developing for the state of Utah, for sure.
Nice. So you chose Utah just basically because Ohana's over there.
Yeah, primarily.
and the cost
Like
of
the
living
ones
is
that I'm close with, at least.
And the cost of living is pretty good over there.
It's pretty good, but because people are starting to come from like California and like all these other places, it's the cost of living is slightly rising.
Oh,
You know what I
shit.
mean? Yeah, like people are, and they keep building shit and stuff, and I'm just like, oh man, like, are you guys gonna put a cap on this? Cause like,
You're preaching to
the
the
next thing you
fucking
know,
choir right now.
yeah, right?
Fuck. Okay, so like, all right, bare knuckle. My personal question would be like, what is the difference besides gloves and no gloves, right? What's the difference of preparation? Other than the obvious things like, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, and all that other stuff. With the stand-up, what do you prepare for, and what's different with the stand-up? And what do you feel that's different, like, with the whole game?
I think from my last two fights and the things that I've learned, it's definitely a little bit more fast paced for sure. You gotta have a higher guard, and I feel like our movements are less like it has to be more sharp and triangle. Like our angles, it needs to be sharp as opposed to like looping around,
Huh.
and like that kind of stuff. Um, uh, Obviously less tools to work with. You only got your punching and your clinching and stuff. But primarily, I just think faster pace, shorter time, higher guard, and sharper angles for sure.
What about delivering and receiving the strike?
So everybody's different. I feel like MMA had prepared me for the transition because honestly, for me, I'm not talking about anybody else because everybody's different. For me, there was no difference. I hit them the same. I get hit. It feels the same, which is why I feel this is my sport, because in MMA, I couldn't open up because I had to be cautious with stuff. I still got to be cautious in bare knuckle, but it's a little bit more freeing for me and how I can just throw, yeah, so for me, it's no different. You ask somebody else, it probably will be. Obviously, we get more lacerated and like banged up, but yeah.
It's part of the game. But
Yeah.
like, even like when the punch lands, right? Bang, it hits you. Are you just like, boom, something just hit me, fuck, whatever? Or is it like, oh, I felt the knuckles and I feel like, is there more feeling behind the contact? Or like, try and like intricately break that down for me, because that's pretty interesting.
The feeling, I mean, when I get hit, because I've been doing it for so long and the mindset that I'm in, it's just like composure and stuff. Honestly, I it doesn't, it's just like, okay, I got hit. We're breathing, we're moving, we're recovering. 'Cause, I mean, 4-ounce gloves isn't that much
For
difference.
real,
And then,
right?
yeah, and then you gotta think like elbows and knees and kicks is kind of similar to bare knuckle, in my opinion. It's just like, no, I wish I could intricately break it down for you, but that's as deep as it gets for me because it feels the same.
No, that's fucking
That's
cool.
honest. That's an honest
That's
answer.
an honest answer. I like that though, because I've always wondered. Like I'd watch the UFC and I'd see guys eat punches, right? But
Uh-huh.
then one thing I've
Yeah.
noticed is like a jab, bing, and it hits a guy in the eye socket. He drops because the pain, right? Where you see a stiff jab, bow, and it hit him with the 4-ounce, and some guys can just take it and eat it and keep going.
Right.
So it's like at some point in time, there's this difference where people feel the smaller, shorter strikes rather than the hard, hip thrown into
Right.
it.
I see what you're saying. Fair. Yeah. I mean, I guess oof, my last fight, I got cut open pretty bad. But like that shit, I didn't feel either. I was just in there, it was running down, I was breathing, I was moving. You watch bare knuckle fighting, like how you said, and a lot of people first round, second round, like they're done or whatever. They get cut open like that, they're taking a knee. Like again, like I don't know if it's just our upbringing and our warrior culture, but like that shit is just like, okay, I got hit, I'm bleeding. Let's like figure this shit out.
Yeah,
Like we're still
finishes.
fighting,
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's tough as shit. I like that fucking response though. Like it's our upbringing,
It is.
Tough,
Yeah.
tough people, man. So that kind of
Mhm.
leads to your clothing line. So tell me about your clothing line and how that got started and where you're going with that.
Okay. I mean, I met my business partner at my last fight. His name is Wally. Super cool guy. Just Blaze Clothing Company. I just saw his potential. He's been at it for like 4 or 5 years now, but he just needed help like with like growing it. And I saw the potential in the brand. I love his passion, his reasons for why he's doing what he's doing, and the fact that he allowed me to create Hawaii Vice 808 under the collection, because with that specific brand, it's all Hawaii related,
Mm-hmm.
and making sure that we perpetuate the culture more than anything. So, I mean, it kind of like, formulated into like when we first started, like I was just on the brand, but then I wanted to do the Hawaii Vice 808. Um, because home is special to me, and as we spoke of, oops, excuse me,
No, you're fine.
as we speak about it, the older we get and the more we process and the more we realize things, like you don't realize, cliche, what you have until it's gone.
Mhm.
And since being away from home for this long, I wanted to find a way to figure out how to stay connected to our home, and this is one of the ways that I get to do it, like just putting stuff into the collection. Like I told you, there's some stuff of landmarks. We also got other stuff in there. I'm gonna send you guys the Pakalolo shirt with all of our Pakalolo like strands on it. I think you guys will like that one. But
Hell yeah.
yeah, it's really bringing to life the culture of Hawaiians, and that's where that's at for me. And as it continues to grow, I want to, as I told you before, Kalei, I was speaking with Leo Mana Trudell, so I'm hoping that proceeds can start to go to his foundation, because it is actually going to our people
Right.
and not someplace else.
Mm-hmm.
And the Just Blaze clothing brand as a whole, my business partner, I'm not gonna like delve into it because he wants to come onto your guys' podcast at some point. But like a small snippet is he lost his sister to the battle of opioids. He was on that as well, but Pakalolo saved his life, and with the transitioning over to that, and he also some of his proceeds from the whole collection goes to like a Pakalolo rehab facility, which helps people transition from opioids onto Pakalolo. So,
That's what's up.
but yeah.
You ever heard of high sobriety?
No.
It's like
No.
where you get sober considering what you used to be on, like heroin or opioids or something else.
Yeah.
But they
Yeah.
within their program they allow like weed and
Mushroom.
other psychedelics to a certain
Nope.
extent. They don't,
Eh.
but you know, it's all,
Bullshit.
they take care of that
Hello?
because a lot of
You got us?
Ah,
you
I
frozen.
think we got cut off.
We can still hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Ah. Hello.
Oh, you're frozen.
That's okay. We'll edit all this out.
It'll be on us.
I didn't really want to talk about high sobriety anyway. I don't know much about it other than that's what it's called.
Yeah, we'll fill it until Monica comes back in. Yeah, no, that high sobriety shit, dude. I totally believe in that, though.
Yeah.
Like,
But I mean, some people could just also start abusing psychedelics
totally,
and weed.
totally.
But
I mean, I don't think the weed thing would be.
Sorry, guys, we got cut off
Hey.
somehow,
Oh,
and
no.
I got cut off where Erik started talking about the high sobriety. So if you could please repeat yourself.
Oh yeah, no, we're just talking about how like I personally agree with high sobriety because, I mean, opioids and all that shit. It goes down the funnel of death, right? Even
Yep.
if you're dealing with meth, cocaine, all that
Yep.
other things where, you know, it's going to be impactful. Alcoholism, impactful on your
Yep.
body. So something that doesn't have a collateral damage like cannabis would be perfect, right? Psychedelics to a certain extent, like you said, because yes, it can be abused. However,
Sure.
I think that's a very long shot to be abusing psychedelics.
I think they address the issues first, and then you can
Yeah.
start doing it. It's not like, oh, you're still going through the process. Here are some mushrooms. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
more like you get sober, and then you can.
you
use
got to do the work first,
You got to,
bro.
you got to, yeah, you got to do the work first, and then you can use these as a tool to integrate.
I
That's
totally.
really good. Where are they located?
I have no idea. I probably in California somewhere,
Oh, okay.
Beverly Hills.
No, I like
Oh.
that. Cannabis is such a good. I call it the anti-gateway, because it was always the
Yeah.
I thought
the
you were gonna
gateway
say
drug.
Something else.
Right?
Yeah, it was always the gateway drug, but it's actually the one to heal you from something that's gonna be detrimental, right? So,
That's what you call propaganda. That's
oh,
why.
Yeah, this plant comes with
You know
a
what I
fucking
mean?
wake of propaganda. It's unreal. It's crazy
Bruh.
how people put that much effort into this plant to demonize it,
Yep.
only for it to
Yep.
come full circle for the public to be like, nah, fuck you, dude.
Yep. Exactly. Because all this other shit is like way worse. Like we just talked about. Like it's all way worse. Even
yeah.
alcohol, and that's legal. Like what the hell? You know what I mean?
I mean, there's data to back the mortality rate of alcohol, like whether it be
Yep.
drunk driving or just alcohol-related deaths.
Everything.
Everything.
Yep.
It's a fucking substantial number, you know? So,
Yep.
I mean, why not? Like, it's just a no-brainer. It's to me, it's fucking stupid. But, you know, hearing the political side of everything, I understand why there's laws and regulations, as stupid as that might sound, because the man needs to make money. The house always wins. So they need to put things in plan where they're going to have money circle around and come back and line their pockets. So you got to play ball some sort of way, you know what I mean? Which is fucked up to say, but it's actually the world we live in right now.
Yeah. It's so fucked up.
Yep.
And so unfortunate.
It is, but we have a lot to be grateful for, you know, what we have right now. And the
Yeah.
Perfect segue for the thankful joint.
no, I looked at that and you like what I did there.
So, I don't know if you're familiar with what we do here on this podcast, but we share a joint and just take a moment to express what we are thankful for. I know you're all the way in Utah. I don't know how the state laws are over there in Utah, but we can virtually pass you
yeah, you
this
guys got a
joint.
Starbucks out there near you or what?
Starbucks.
Nah, get like get like I call them. There's like coffee spots and stuff. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, Dutch Bros?
Dutch guys. I
Dutch
call them
guys.
Dutch guys.
What is that? Like a dispensary?
I call them the doo-doo boys.
No,
The coffee
it's
was
coffee.
duty.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dutch bro, Dutch boys.
How did you get to coffee when I just finished talking about
Because
the
Utah
rules?
Mormon, like caffeine was like a.
Oh.
So I just kind of mentioned that. My boys played volleyball at BYU, and they're like, "Fuck, I'm so bored." Oh,
Right?
man.
Bro.
All right.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
So what
it's
do
a
you?
different culture up here for sure.
Oh, you got?
I got this later.
Does it work?
I don't know. You gave it to me.
It doesn't. That's why I put it down, fool.
He put it down. He put it down right in front of me. That's the
Set you up.
international gesture for this works, and you can use this.
No, that's I think an international gesture to fuck you. It's like here's a lighter. It doesn't work.
Give me
Roll
a
this
broken
joint.
lighter. Yeah. Yeah, it becomes a fuck you because you knew it wasn't gonna work, and you gave it to me to use, which is exactly what I did.
So do you
So
use?
you got me.
Do you
got
use
me.
cannabis as like I mean, obviously not in Utah, but before, have you used cannabis as like a means to recover from training?
Yeah, I mean, I get my ways around here for sure. I have connections up here
Awesome.
because I mean, back home it was always easy to just get it wherever. But yeah, I have some connections up here. I do kind of lean off of it during fight camp less because I think for me it kind of does affect my cardio, small
Totally.
kind.
Yep.
But then like when I'm not in fight camp, I'm like, chonging away or whatever. So
I mean, you can put it off for the fight camp. It's part of the fasting of fight camp, if you will, right? Because you're gonna watch
Yeah.
what you eat, your water intake and shit. So it's like, why not fast off of weed while you're in fight camp? Take this shit really seriously, and then after you're done, go for it.
absolutely, absolutely.
Because you guys don't get drug tested, right, for bare knuckle?
Nah,
Nice.
not
Nice.
even. I
What-
mean, I don't even think the UFC doesn't either.
No,
You know?
Not
no.
for cannabis anymore.
What about roids?
Yeah.
What about steroids?
That I don't. Oh, I've never gotten tested for that yet in bare knuckle.
Wow.
Shit. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Can I share what I'm thankful for?
Yes, sir.
I'm thankful for audio engineers near and far. Our
nice.
personal audio engineer, producer, Turtle Doves. He set up this,
That's awesome.
helped set up this Zoom, so we have this.
It was seamless. It was so fucking
Like it's
cool.
working. The
You-
best I've ever seen it.
Well,
actually.
usually we're like scrambling and shit, like 6:45, fuck. But like these guys nailed it, dude. It was awesome. Yep.
Hell yeah.
Good
Yeah.
job.
That's
to AV.
solid.
So to all
Your
those,
team is glowing.
yeah,
Yeah.
all those audio engineers out there who do the work, thank you for your service. Salute you.
Mahalo.
Oh, sorry, wrong hand.
Yeah.
It's a left hand salute.
Mahalo.
That's probably disrespectful. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm thankful for Eric's rolling skills. Since I met this guy, he didn't roll joints. Now he rolls fucking really good joints. So, fuck yeah, I'm thankful for
Yeah.
your rolling skills.
Now,
Wait, you just roll them on your own, or you use the rolling thing?
Nah,
roll them on our own.
own.
Hey, that's old school.
I don't know if it's weird or not, but I really don't know how to use those effectively.
Me neither.
I think I could learn it eventually, but at the current moment,
Yeah.
I suck at those.
Now old school.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Bruh, nobody can do them like that anymore.
It's-
Everybody use those things.
It's old
So-
school mixed with a little bit of new school because now I put the crutches inside.
Yeah, the crutches
Okay,
aren't on the
okay.
outside anymore.
Yeah. What about
yeah.
you? What about you, Monica? What are you thankful for?
Bruh, I'm thankful to be here and for my first Hawaii podcast. It's exciting. The platform that you guys have given me and the platform that you guys have created. It's really well put together and it's gonna do really good. You guys have a good show. So
Thank you.
I'm
Thanks.
very
Well, we've been
thankful
doing it
to
for
be
like
here.
3 or 4 years now, and I
Oh,
like
yeah.
I take pride in the fact that it's still an underground podcast,
Nice.
which is a nice way of
Nice.
saying our viewership is humble. But you know what? What I do also take pride in is that the people who watch are actual people we know and that support and come out and
Exactly.
like they're you know what I mean. So it's not
Well-
just like bots
well, even
following
the
and shit
fucking
like
people
that.
Yeah,
They're doing that
yeah,
kind of
shit.
not fake followers.
Yeah. Or people who just, I don't know, you just follow somebody just because. But for like the people who follow us and subscribe, I know that's people that are actually checking it out.
Yeah, and the people that we don't know that follow, we know they're quality listeners too. They listen to the podcast and have some feedback. Like I've bumped into strangers at the expo and they watch the podcast and I'm like, holy shit, nice, man.
Shout out to all the people who subscribe.
Yeah, man.
Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
My back. That saying that hurt my back. What about you, production crew, Turtle Doves? What are you thankful for?
Shoot, I mean, there's so many things to be thankful for. So much. So many thankful joints.
Quit stalling.
Yeah, just one.
Quit stalling.
Technology. Technology. Thankful for
Technology?
It has its dark side, but I mean, in terms of like, I don't know, medical advancement and just being, I don't know, a positive side for humanity.
That's
fair.
That's long term for like shout out to Chat GPT for helping me out.
Whoa,
I know
dark side.
I know there's different
Destroying the
versions of
environment.
AI, and like ChatGPT has just kind of become like a general term for it. But did you guys
Right.
hear how ChatGPT or AI in general is better at like observing an X-ray? Like say you get like your lungs X-rayed, they're better than doctors at looking at it and diagnosing and even seeing like the smallest thing that doctors might not notice. Like, bro, it's pretty crazy.
Did you just see that video where the guy was like, "I'm gonna lose my job"? Is that what you're
Yes,
talking about?
yeah, I did see that video, but I've seen other. Yeah, for sure.
It's gonna take my job.
That's some straight up Black Mirror shit for sure.
Oh,
huh?
fuck,
You guys
yeah.
watch Black Mirror?
Fuck. Yes. Have you watched
Oh
the
my
new
God.
season?
I have not.
God, dude.
But
I stopped at like 2 episodes.
I'll watch it now.
Wild.
I
Space it out, bro.
I mean, it's amazing how it just continues to be so good. Like,
Right?
Other than the two
I
friends
really
with the
liked
video
it.
games, that
But
was
that
pretty
was-
horrible. Other than that,
Oh, the video game.
But it's a
was.
good-
That was funny.
I was like, wait a minute,
Pause.
what's happening here?
but
Wait
their premises,
Whoa.
and their
That was
actors
wild.
they get that commit to the fucking role. It's fucking.
Bruh.
It's good.
It's good, dude. It's so
Yeah.
good.
The Archangel one was pretty dope.
Which one was that?
The one that they put the little thing on the side of their heads, and the one that guy could go back into.
Oh, yeah.
That was sick. That one tripped me out a little bit.
There's so many that
Yeah.
I feel like Black Mirror. Like when I watch it, I'm watching it as like this is a prediction. Like it's like
Right.
it's a documentary of what it was like in the future. You know what I mean? It's like because the one where they put the guy's accused of murdering somebody, and they fucking have him in that thing where he's like thinks he's in the cabin and he's like repeating this day over and over, and the guy's interrogating him, and it feels like this long stretch of time, but it's only been like 15 minutes in reality, and how they can lock you in a prison in your mind and make you feel like you're in prison for 100 years, and then they let you out, and you wake up and it's been like a couple hours.
That's crazy as fuck.
Yeah.
Like that
That's wild.
that concept though has been proposed in real life as like this could be a technology that could possibly be
That's fucking horrible.
Holy hell.
with the
That is horrible.
with the what
Just
is the
kill me.
Elon Musk thingy, the fucking Neuralink.
Oh,
Dog.
yeah.
Did you
I
see
mean-
that one where like they had this? They're at a beach house in like the 80s, and then they're going through all these time zones with this black lady and this white lady,
Mhm.
and they actually love each other.
Mhm.
And it comes to find out that
Yeah, San Junipero.
Yes.
yeah,
That's so you're a big fan of it. You know all the titles of all the episodes.
No, I don't. That's just that I don't. I only know because
That was a good
yeah,
one.
Yeah,
That was a
I
good,
don't.
even the pig fucker one. The one where they say they kidnap the princess of England, I guess, and they make the prime minister, they hold her for ransom and they make the prime minister.
That one is wild. Mm-hmm.
That was the one I showed my wife that one, and she was like, what the fuck is this? I was like, oh, no, trust me, it's good. It's going to get good. But, like, those are things that are, like,
pay no mind to him fucking the pig.
like it's
Bruh, that one was so wild.
it's completely possible. It seems far-fetched or whatever, but it's, like, not outside the realm of reality, especially in the direction we're going technologically with some of these things. And
yeah.
the way the internet works and how you can convince people to like now with AI, you ever saw those stories about like people are cloning other people's voice with AI and then
Right.
using that to call their parents and pretend like they're being held ransom to get, you know what I mean, being held captive to get money and shit. And
Did you see that study on Zurich? It was on Joe Rogan's podcast.
No.
So Zurich, University of Zurich came out with this AI program that would go on Reddit and be 6 times more convincing than the average human that
Oh,
would
yeah.
fly under the bot algorithm.
It's called the Turing test.
Yeah, dude, that's scary as fuck,
It's
man.
to determine if an AI can fool an actual human into thinking it's not AI. And there are some out there that
it goes further than that.
Oh.
It's if an AI can change your perception on a subject.
Oh yeah, no, they do that probably all the time with
Yeah, all the
social
time.
media.
Jesus
With
Christ.
algorithms
Yeah.
and all that shit. Your phone's fucking listening to you too, because sometimes you're like talking about shit and then it like pops up on your Google. I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
no way.
My algorithm's
You
like
know?
chiropractic videos and shit. It's just filled with that. I don't know why. I love that stuff.
No, technology is getting kind of wild though. There was this one that I just watched recently too with Megan Fox, and she was like a fucking robot. It was freaking gnarly.
Yeah,
You
man.
guys should look it up.
What about you? Before we continue on with the awesome movie and TV show talk, because I love this shit.
Yeah.
What about you, Bud Naked? What are you thankful for?
Audio engineers far and wide. Did someone say that already?
Yeah.
Ah, shit. Sucking dick. Nah, I'm thankful for people that say shit, man. After what happened yesterday, like there's people that fucking stand there and record, you know, and they'll
Yeah.
like won't say anything, won't intervene. I mean, I too bad for that girl. There's no one there because all the people on there were like they're bullies. But like, I don't know if you guys saw the video of the girls that were confronting her in the bathroom, like after it happened. They were like in the bathroom, looks like at the school. So another girl from the school was like in the bathroom with one of the girls, confronting her, and there's all the kids watching. She's like telling her, oh, like pretty much like, why'd you do that? And she's like, oh, he was beating her up. And the girl was like, I didn't even beat her up that bad. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, you fucking were like slapping the shit out of her, like, you know. But those kids were standing up for her, so. I think we need more of that, like people standing. You know what I mean?
think more
Not
so
just watching.
comforting
We go
her.
straight to our phones, and you just want to record whatever. You know what I mean?
Do
Like,
it for the
it's like,
likes.
fuck all that. You gotta like intervene nowadays. You know that's why like
Yeah.
the phone's kind of a curse in a way. You know, like it takes
Yeah.
away a lot. It adds a lot, but it takes away a lot too. You know, we gotta be real careful with it and stuff. So
So true.
Social
so
media.
true.
With great power comes great responsibility.
I'm vengeance.
Yeah. What was that? Who said that? Batman. Oh,
No, me.
Spider-Man.
Me. It was Uncle Ben.
No, I know, but someone else. He quoted someone else.
I thought it was Star Wars, but I don't think it is.
The best one is from Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, where it's like an alternate universe, and the dad goes, "With great ability comes great accountability." It's a good one. It's the same sentiment, but it's just worded different because it's an alternate universe.
What was that Batman Ninja you're telling me?
Yeah,
Where was it on?
HBO.
No, it's not.
Yeah, or Max or whatever the fuck it's Go or.
Okay, I'm gonna go check it. I tried to look for it, I couldn't find it.
Speaking of
yeah.
TV shows, have you seen Love, Death, and Robots?
I love that
Yeah, that
show.
was
Dude.
good.
Did you watch the new season?
No, you're gonna like that. If you like Black Mirror, you're gonna
Yeah.
fucking like that one. Love,
Okay.
Death, and
Love,
Robots.
Death, and Robots.
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll binge that
What is
shit.
that, Netflix?
Netflix. They're short 15-minute animated short stories that
Animated or real life? Because there's one where this guy opened his fridge, and there's a universe that's like evolving real quickly, and it goes all the way until like an atomic bomb that blows themselves up and fucking. It's,
actually, yeah,
it's
they
badass.
had a new one this season that had real people in it too. But yeah, they're just kind of like sci-fi. I don't know, all kind of different shit. It's like a pretty eclectic show, but yeah, Love, Death, and
Okay.
Robots.
Love, Death, and Robots. Heard. I'll go
yeah.
check them out.
Yeah, that's a good one.
What I mean, you see a lot on social media. Is it really getting that bad back home with like shit, like you know, being home, or is it that like a media thing happening here, like, you know?
I think social media shows the truth of it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
I mean, do you feel like our island is getting worse with like crime and shit? Because even my cornerman, like he does Uber, and he said that he was like in Waikiki, and a fight broke out, and then the next thing you know, like he's driving and guns start flaring. I'm just like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah.
It's like that now. Like, there's a lot of ghost guns that came to Hawaii, and there's a lot of
Oh.
shootings.
I mean, I'm not against the Second Amendment, but I'm also not. I don't like guns. I never
Well-
did. I'm not. Growing up, you don't. You know, we never really did that. Like, we scrap them out. Like,
These
this
guys
is
aren't
just-
following the Second Amendment and it's what it stands for in its like intentions. These guys are
Yeah.
just, I feel like a lot of it does have to do with social media, and what's happening is they're emulating what they're seeing happening on the mainland and this hyper violent lifestyle of like, fuck it, you know what I mean? A lot of it could
Right.
be their fear too, right? They don't want to fight because they're scared, so they're rather just shoot. But they masquerade as like, I'm so fucking tough, blah, blah, you know what I mean? Like, so it could be have something to do with that too.
The
the rise
puniest, the puniest kids got guns. So you gotta watch. Like, just fuck. Where was? Oh, I was at Dave and Buster's, and I was walking with my girlfriend. I'm like, babe, look, and a kid had a fucking sidearm under his shirt, and I'm like, fuck, that kid's like 16.
Oh.
Whenever I see a kid that's in that 17 to 20 range, and they're a group of them, and a bunch of them have fanny packs strapped to their chests around, you know what I mean? I'm thinking to myself, which one of those has their gun in it? Because I'm sure one of them got one.
Fuck.
You know what I mean?
Home, yeah, that sucks. Home wasn't like that. I mean, up here you got that kind of shit going on, like how you said, you know, and you just got rude ass people who don't know how to drive and get into like road rages and then follow each other home, scrap. One guy would die because of road rage, then one pulling one gun because of road rage. Like, really fucking road rage? Like, really pulling you? Like, why are you guys being such fucking pussies? Like, people walk around because they can carry gun up here, so I'm not used to it. You know, like I don't like it. I mean, I'm not against the Second Amendment, but like I don't like it.
You're completely right. It's an interesting dilemma though, because like how I was raised is your gun should never leave your house. It's to protect your house and your loved ones, right?
Right.
To bring it out though, it's like it's kind of the if you're gonna do it, I'm gonna do it kind of thing, right? So it's like
Right.
if I don't bring a gun, he's got a gun, and I'm the victim now, and you're the predator. So like I'm the
Right.
prey, you're the predator. So it's like, okay, I need to stand up to the predator. I might as well bring a gun too, and that's the mentality that we're encountering right now with the public. Is like, I don't want to be. It's better to need it and not have it than have it and not need it. You know,
What is Hawaii's rule?
imminent danger.
No, but what is it regarding carrying? Like concealed carry?
We got
Like,
concealed carry,
but
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
see, that's
you
the
can
thing
you
though.
can carry.
But that's the thing. What the theory of it is too is like an armed society is a polite society, right? People are less inclined to run in and do something with a gun if they might think that, oh shit, there's a lot of other people with guns in here too that can counter me, right? Or might be
Right.
heroes. Everybody like me,
Right.
Batman, right? There might be a room full of them with guns. So,
Yeah.
but that doesn't really seem to be the case because
Here?
these kids also have a fear.
I
mean-
mean, that more like an open carry situation. If you're in an open carry state where everybody sees you carrying a gun, concealed carry is different.
But the people that these kids are shooting at are people their age who also have guns if they're shooting back, but they don't have a regard for that guy might have a gun and I get shot. They're just still
you're
shooting.
talking about people that probably aren't carrying legally in the first
Oh
place.
no, yeah,
so-
100%. These kids, none of these kids are
Right.
carrying illegal. That's what I meant when I said like
A lot of them
they're
are
not
ghosts.
abiding by the principles of the Second Amendment.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But I do know guys that will carry, and because they're like, fuck, they don't go looking for trouble. But it is pretty
Right.
much self-defense. They're like, fuck, I don't want to I don't know how to fight. When I come across some guy that might do MMA or some shit, like, I'm going to fucking shoot him. You know, like if he feels like that's the equalizer for him, as long as you
That's
ain't look, but
the
if you ain't
end of
looking
the
for
day, bro.
trouble, you know,
If
if
you
I ain't
cannot
out
fight,
there
then
looking for trouble, then
use your words.
you know,
But that's the
Yeah.
thing, run.
I-
If
Run.
you can run.
But the battle
I don't
starts
know,
with
like,
the
well,
mind.
that's
Yeah,
the law here in
run.
Hawaii, though. You have to run. If you can run, you gotta run. That's the law. You can't just stand there and shoot somebody if they're trying to fight you and they're gonna knock you out. Like, you gotta run.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
This is not like Texas. It's not a stand your ground state like Texas.
Oh. It's
I don't know.
you gotta escape your house when somebody breaks in before
No, exactly.
you try
You
and
have
shoot them.
to. You have to. You have to. The only time you can shoot someone in Hawaii in your own home is if you have no way out, or you're between like the person breaking into your house and your children. Like, you gotta protect your children.
Fuck that. I shoot
That's
him
the
and I
only
put
time.
my gun in his hand.
I shoot him and say my children were there. I wake them up and be like, when the cops get here, you guys were around. You know what I mean, or whatever the case may be. Like,
It's gonna happen so
Yeah.
fucking fast
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
no, after you shoot, you just take care of it, and then you tell the story that your kids were there, wherever they might have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows? They could have been in Utah at the time, but you just tell them, no, my kid was here and I needed to protect them. And then after it happened, I sent them to Utah.
Just get a dog and,
To me, it's like there's that line of that front door, right? Everyone's front door is that deadbolt door. And
I almost think your fence line is good enough because some people's
but
doors
we're
are.
talking about Hawaii and how Hawaii pushes imminent danger, and like the happy medium would be your front door.
That's kill zone already.
That's kill zone. As soon as you come in, you should be able to get shot. As soon as you step in the front door.
Then no one would come in your damn house. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
They know already.
Yeah. They wouldn't.
That's the only time
'Cause
I
I think-
believe in
To
guns.
play devil's advocate, maybe the logic is you could have anybody in your house and shoot them and just say they entered your house. That, you know what I'm saying? Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But you could do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know.
You could do that now, I guess. If
I
you
guess
wanted
you
to.
could do that.
Yeah, I don't think. I think there's a lot of forensics that could prove otherwise. Like there was no struggle. This person.
There is, dude. They could tell what angle blood splatter landed.
No, I'm
because
saying
of
like
what the
obviously
angle you
there's
smashed
no
them.
struggle because he was invited to your house. You killed him in the house. There's his fingerprints everywhere. That's passive. There's
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
so like it'll be thrown the fuck.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
get busted as shit.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I was just playing devil's advocate, just giving the alternate. Media.
I know in Utah, as soon as they enter, you can blow them away, from my understanding.
Yes.
Yeah, of course, right? Yeehaw.
They got their Mormon sensibilities, but they got a little fucking
You got to protect all them wives, dog.
southern mentality still.
So is
It's
that
not wild-
mean-
it's still considered kind of the Wild
Here's-
West. That's why it still was frontier land, right?
right? It is. But here's a crazy question: do you witness a lot of polygamy out there?
I don't, but I've heard a lot of wild shit.
No shit. Fire it.
Yeah.
We want to
hear it.
know.
No,
We want to know.
Okay.
I mean, asking for a friend.
Like, okay. They have this fucking thing called soaking. Me and my cousins call them fucking super soakers. So evidently they are so convoluted in their train of thought that they think that so soaking is 3 people. You got one person underneath the bed and you got 2 people on top of the bed and you got the person underneath pushing the bed, making them do the act because that's not sex.
Whoa.
I've heard of that before. Yeah,
That's the ultimate
I've
loophole
never heard
right
of that
there.
it's the
until
loophole
just
for
recently.
Mormons to fuck.
But Super Soaker is a whole new ballgame.
The
I never
Super
heard that
Soaker
ever.
3000. Everybody
Right?
knows.
Super Soaker is a whole new ball game for me too, bro. When I was just like, oh, you guys are so fucking dumb. Like,
He's like, bro.
just
It sounds dumb for people who fuck, but for people who've never fucked, that's probably fucking that. The act of that is amazing.
no, but here's what it is. Like, my thing is, like, how do you get that twisted? That, you know, like, just do it. Like, why are you blaming this? Why are you just do it and be okay with it. Don't put it on religion. Don't be like, you know, even like one of my friends up here, like
It's like God won't know.
No, yeah, he doesn't.
God's like, well, I guess you're right.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like they don't take accountability. Like they think that's their opportunity to don't take accountability. Even my one friend was telling me she's a Pakalolo dealer. This one girl was like, oh, okay, can you light the bong for me? And she's like, why? She's like, well, like, because like if you light it for me and I'm only smoking it, that's not me really, you know, doing the act.
It's
she's
2/3.
like, yeah, but-
How'd
not
get
completely.
that? How'd that get there?
There's a lot of that in a lot of religious tenets that seem to be like very stringent rules where people have found the workaround.
It's like-
I mean, it's the same thing about sinning, right? You sin and you go confess to the priest on Sunday. You get your whatever Rosemary's, Hail Marys you got to do, and
Yeah,
then
and you get
fucking
blessed
pow,
from all the
you
sins
good.
you did.
It's cool.
It's like him taking a
but
swig
at
of
least
alcohol and
they
spitting in my
admitting,
mouth.
at least they admitting. They're not pretending that they never do them.
Yeah,
you know what I
that's true,
mean? At
that's
least
true.
they admitting, like, oh, Father, I fucking went and banged this chick or whatever. You know,
Right.
they're not saying otherwise.
Yeah,
they're
it's
not
just a
pretending.
It's a public
they're not
loophole.
pretending. You know?
Yeah.
It's like God takes you to a court of law and is like, well, the judge is like, yeah, I don't know if I can really convict these people because he wasn't actually doing the pumping. It's like it was his homeboy getting a workout just so happens. You know what I
Go to
mean?
bed, you know, like fucking. Cheers
Why
to
is
you,
that bed
real
shaking
man.
like
Let's
that?
see how much short reps I can do. Fucking push-ups. Dude, that's wild. Okay.
Well,
How did I get
soaking.
naked all of a sudden? How are you naked?
Fucking
How'd that get in
chokers.
there? How does that keep moving in and out of there right now? What's going on? Like, what? I didn't do that.
Yeah, like how do you explain to God about penetration?
I think
Well-
God.
Yeah.
I think God knows what penetration
well,
is,
No,
if
I
we're
mean,
dude.
like,
talking
you-
about
you have-
Mormons here. They believe in something
Absolutely.
different.
If God's arguing it, he's like, well, you had to have lined it up. You know what I mean?
It fell in, dude. That shit happens
It
all the time.
Fell in, and yet
Yeah.
she's a
Fell in.
virgin.
She fell on top, and we
They
didn't move.
believe in something
It's
different.
But then someone came along and started shaking the bed. There was
It's
an
like
earthquake.
throwing a penny down a wishing
There
well.
was an earthquake, Lord.
Yep.
Oh, the
Yep.
earthquake! Let's get naked.
And that's just because they can't do it before they're married. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And and then you got
Jewish
a bunch
people-
of swingers up here, so you know.
Thanks for stopping me. Let's gonna talk
Some
about.
wild shit.
Yeah. Good.
No judgment for me. I mean, I've lived a wild life. I have no judgments. But my judgment is don't pretend to be one fucking way and then behind closed doors you doing all this shit. And then on top of that you condemning people for the shit that you're doing. That's all I'm saying is don't do that shit.
Don't
Just
be a
real.
motherfucking hypocrite.
Are Mormons in Utah like religious, like high horse people, where they think they're better than thou because they're Mormon and you might not be?
A lot of them are. I mean, I grew up LDS, you know, but growing up LDS in Hawaii is just different because we live life and we have a culture and we're experienced. Like a lot of these people up here just seem like they're very inexperienced and yeah, you get a lot of that for sure. What you said, just like hi maka maka or like, you know, whatever, pretending to be one way and you just
Here's a
But you-
question.
Have you been to the Mormon Tabernacle? Is that what it's called? The one in Salt Lake? No, the one in Salt Lake City. Yeah. Did you know that they have record of like family lineages for like going back too far? Even if you're not Mormon, you can go to their records, Hall of Records or whatever it's called, and like research your family history there.
It's like the NSA.
I don't know,
you can.
They just
Mhm.
have like crazy record keeping, and they've been doing it for centuries, dude.
Here's a Mormon question I've been dying to fuck it. Is there any Amish Mormon up there?
I don't know. I never bumped into
Those
them.
are two completely separate things.
But
That's
I
like
know
saying
I
a
do
Catholic Jew.
I do know that there are those that practice polygamy and they have like their own little community somewhere. I don't know where it is though, but I heard that they do. So yeah.
The highest
one of the-
consumer in baby oil in the state
one
of
of the-
Utah.
One of the dudes who was running for president, I can't remember if it was like Mitt Romney or one of these other
Yes,
guys.
it was.
His
It was
dad
that one.
went to Mexico to escape like getting nabbed for breaking polygamy laws with his harem or of wives and shit, and started a ranch down there or something.
Trippy.
Well,
It's
there
crazy.
you
Dude.
go.
That's what I'm saying. When you think about what the crazier shit that's happened in the world, BJ Penn's story might not be so fucking unbelievable.
Oh
You
my
know what I'm saying?
god, dude.
Right?
I mean, there's so
No,
much.
no.
And we're lucky enough to be in the time where it's unfolding in front of our eyes.
Absolutely.
Is it
for
really?
sure.
Yeah, it is, because he's posting videos regularly talking about it and explaining
I hate
giving
to
his
be-
evidence and his point of view.
Well, I hate to be the devil's advocate in this situation. How much of it is a brain thing?
That's what I'm saying. We
Right.
don't know, but it could 100% be. But wouldn't it be not the craziest thing we've talked about, even the things that we talked about that could happen?
I mean, if he's right,
How much is his fortune
then-
worth? Is it worth all this work
No.
to steal? Like, what is his net? Like, what is their family's net worth?
not enough for the government would step
Right.
in.
Yeah, it's not like
fucking
they're not billionaires, right?
billion. No, million.
Millionaires,
Millionaires.
but like probably hundreds of millions, right? It's not like not substantial.
Yeah.
Fuck. I don't know.
Because they get all kind. They're like pretty diversified.
But
Yeah, and then obviously he get from the gym, right? The UFC gyms and stuff that is
Right.
named from him. Doesn't he collect from there too?
yeah,
or
he has
no?
royalties all
Royalty.
over the place. I think.
Right.
What about Ruka? Ruka was just a sponsor. Or does he have royalties through Ruka? Because that's a big one, dude.
I don't know.
Probably done already with that.
He probably powered Ruka.
Probably. Oh, especially to know all this shit. They probably pulled him already.
I don't know. The Tenori, he's good friends with that guy, and that guy owns Ruka, right?
And the Penn reels, right?
No.
Isn't that their family? Do they have like a fishing reel company?
Nice try, Diddy.
That's not them.
It's close, but no.
Oh,
them.
I thought that was.
No,
Somebody told me
the
that.
mom dabbles in a lot of real estate,
that's
right?
crazy because somebody told me that back in the day, and I lived
You just
with that
outright
belief.
believe them?
Yeah, well,
Find new
why?
friends.
Why would I assume they're lying?
Google it.
I don't need to. This is before Google.
So
The encyclopedia.
See,
Nah,
see
just
how
kidding.
easy this works. Now I believe you guys. See, boom, easy.
well, it's just real estate. I believe the mom did, and then she did a little bit politics on Big Island, like city council and shit.
And in one of his videos, he mentioned a bowling alley.
The Gila Bowling Alley.
They own that.
But those are all local
Yeah.
businesses that he owns within Hilo. It's
Yeah.
not like he's an international business where, fuck, he
Mm-hmm.
can be making plenty of money. Where the government's like,
maybe that's how the Illuminati and whoever they are pull it off is
Mm-hmm.
because they've already sown the seeds of doubt in the public. Because why would you do that to BJ Penn? He's not like a billionaire. The same thing we were saying, and that's how they get away with it and do it. And he's out there spitting the truth, saying these fuckers are imposters, they're fake family,
Right.
and nobody believes him because the Illuminati works, and they just.
BJ
that's-
Penn is worth $4 million.
he Googled it. BJ Penn's worth $4
What about
mil.
not BJ Penn himself? What about his family? Because
I'd say tens of millions, given that.
maybe it's some low-level Illuminati
Yeah,
who's
it's
just
a-
want.
That's a
Oh,
far-fetched
yeah, well.
conspiracy. I think it's more of a medical thing than anything else. I think
Right.
he probably needs. I mean, if you get a DNA test, that pretty much
Has he
answers
ever had-
all his questions.
Yeah.
Has he ever
Yeah,
admitted
they
to
did one.
CTE? I know he rails against CTE and says CTE is not a real thing.
The government created
Right.
it
But
for BJ
but
Penn.
that's like the guy who's drunk, and you tell him he's drunk, and he's like, "I'm not fucking drunk." It's like,
Right. I mean,
that's what that feels like.
I'm also gonna play a fucking asshole here. Like, you see his accomplishments, right? And you see him flaunt his accomplishments all the time.
Right.
So a guy with that much pride is not gonna be like, yes, I do have a problem. Something is definitely
Right.
wrong with my head. He's not gonna say it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, it's
Yeah.
It could be the signs of a mental break, or like a prelude to something, But if that's the case, then I hope it gets better, because there was for a while he seemed to be doing okay.
it's just sad it happened on
Right.
social media.
Right.
Well, that's one of the pitfalls and problems with social media, is that sometimes you get to publicly watch somebody's fucking mental breakdown.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a lot of that. They're not famous, but sometimes I just come across random people and you deep dive into their thing, and they're just ranting on lives that they posted for hours, and it's like, holy crap, these people are going
Amanda
through it,
Bynes.
dude. Yeah, not even celebrities, just random people, and who knows, dude.
Doesn't say his family's net worth. I can't find it, but
It's,
he's only like $4 million. Like, think like, why would anyone go through so much trouble, even if it's tens of millions?
Right.
Like, imagine the technology they're using to try and like kill somebody, put a fucking mask on, and you know what I
Right.
mean. Like that in itself costs probably a lot of money. Like I would go for bigger.
Yeah,
fish.
imagine how much they paid this actor to play his mom for this long. I think it'll
how
be
much people that involves to
Yeah,
keep
yeah,
that
yeah.
secret.
the tab would probably be up
Dude.
by now.
Maybe
CTE.
it's somebody
CTE.
who's just fucking has a vendetta against him and wants to fuck with him for all the shit he said against the Hawaii
Someone
Department
like
of
George
Education. They're like, you like come for our jobs, motherfucker. Guess what
Nah.
happens? You ever seen the movie The Game?
Those
We're
guys that
gonna
go home drink, bro.
We're gonna orchestrate the rest of your life and drive you crazy.
That's
Right.
right.
Maybe it is just a personal vendetta
No.
against BJ Penn.
No, I'm calling it right now. It's not.
It's not.
It's not.
I mean, is there
stay
any
tuned to the show.
conspiracies that you guys do think is like not BJ's, but just conspiracy just in general that you think are real or like you know what I mean could be?
Uh-oh.
There's a ton. I mean,
Oh,
how much time you got? How long have we been
no,
recording?
No.
No, I mean, there's so many.
Yeah.
It's Aloha Friday tomorrow.
You
I
gotta-
just gotta train people at the gym. It's okay.
I think the shorter list is like, which ones do I not believe in? The one, like some mainstream ones that I don't believe in. But I
like
mean,
the
if
lizard
somebody,
people.
that one is questionable. I'm kind of on the fence with
Okay.
that one. But like the Earth
Really?
being flat, I don't
Okay.
believe the Earth is flat.
Okay.
I don't believe that. Fuck, there was another one I just thought of that. But now it just slipped in my mind because you said about lizard people, and I was thinking about all the lizard people.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
No, but yeah, the fucking Earth being flat, I don't believe that one.
I mean,
Hollow Earth.
it's just take it with a
All
grain of
this could be
salt.
true, dude.
Because I mean, there's nothing that's not possible.
I mean, the biggest one, right? All this could just be a simulation, and all this shit could be just made up, dude.
Yeah.
Right.
You're not really
Right.
I have one that I kind of formulated on my own just by looking at what happened that I really haven't heard anybody say, because this conspiracy became like tainted with like the claim of racism, when back in the day calling something racist, like just shut that shit down. But remember the birther conspiracy where people were saying Barack Obama wasn't born in Hawaii, he was actually born in Indonesia, which disqualifies him from being president. You know, the deeper one of that is he's been groomed since childhood to become the president, to usher in the New World Order, put a black face in the White House and fucking get everybody in line, trick everybody into believing and fucking swindle the whole nation, which basically is what happened. But that he wasn't born here and that his birth certificate was fake. Like Donald Trump even was in on that shit back in the day, and then it kind of just disappeared. But what happened was, but here's the follow up to that story that nobody really talks about or mentions. The lady who, from the Hawaii State Department of Health, who presented the authentic Barack Obama birth certificate to the press and made the press announcement to like squash the birth certificate.
She was in the
It was in a plane crash that happened from Molokai to Oahu. It was like one of the small
charter planes.
Yeah, like commuter planes and shit. Maybe had like 10, 12 people, maybe less on. It crashed in between, and she was the only one that died. Her name was Loretta Huddy. I remember this, and I remember when it happened. I remembered that name, and I looked it up, and I made the connection, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, that's just tying up a loose end, maybe? I don't know. You know what I mean?
Right.
When you look at people in power, they seem to have a wake of dead bodies in their
And like
their
something
trail.
like that is more plausible than BJ Penn.
Yeah, definitely more plausible.
Because that's high level, because this is the legitimacy of the president. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Candace Owens at all, but she uncovered a really about the French presidency. Like she does a whole investigation series, and kind of similar to Barack, the grooming, the process, and how it started from young, putting them into like, you know what I mean? Like they're coming after her like big time, and she's like fighting it in courts, and like it's very well put together. So like it is very plausible, like this whole Barack thing and everything, you know what I mean?
Juicy, man.
Even like
nonetheless.
like you mentioned, like the lizard people and all this stuff. Like there's a lot of evidence of those kinds of claims by ancient civilizations and stuff. You know what I mean? It's carved into fucking rocks in places. You know what I'm saying? And like we said, crazier things have happened. One of the biggest conspiracies out there is that whoever's they or controlling or whatever it is has lied and erased our true history as humans on this planet. Like history has just been wiped out. You know what I mean? And we've been guided and steered in a certain way to this point with technology, with media and all this shit, just to kind of get us to where we are. Yeah. And for what purpose, I don't know. Some people say for them to energetically feed on our low vibration with the suffering of humans.
It's the grand reset, right? The trajectory of humankind is kind of superseding where we needed to be. So we did a grand reset to kind of fucking make us stupid again. With to refigure things out.
There might have been like, there's even claims that popes and churches have jumped time where there was like a 200 gap. They just skipped over that shit, and we're actually not in 2025. We're actually like a couple hundred years. The year should be a couple hundred years shorter or lower. I don't know what the exact numbers are, but
that's
I just
fucking
heard that
wild
shit.
if you think about that, because that's totally plausible too, right? That's fucking crazy, dude. So back to boxing.
Back to bare knuckle boxing.
Back to boxing. One question I had for you was, who do you idolize? Who's your hero in boxing?
In boxing.
Or it could be fighting altogether.
Fighting altogether. I would have to say my ohana. The people I like, they aren't professionals, but like they're they were the ones that inspired me initially. My cousins, it's nobody like grand. Well, they're grand to me, you know what I mean, but not anybody that people will know of. But yeah, just my cousins that I grew up with and learning from, and then I got cousins on Maui too, and they do jujitsu and them more than anything. I know that's not like a who answer, but
No,
it
it's
would be
important
them.
nonetheless, you know.
Yeah. Um, if I had to like, if I'm trying to like, if I wanted to go like big name, it'd be Mike Tyson,
That's what's
be
up.
like Mike, you know.
Who didn't want to be like Mike,
sure.
man?
That's actually supposed to be like Michael Jordan, yeah. That saying.
Yeah, but fuck
No,
that
that's
guy.
fine. I want to be like Mike, but for
Tyson.
Mike
Mike
Tyson.
Tyson.
Parentheses, Tyson.
Yeah. You got so many great Mikes, you know. You got Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, Michael Phelps, Michael Tyson,
Yeah.
Michael Myers. No.
Yeah, for real. Michael Myers, the greatest of all, the highest body
The
count.
Mike butt naked.
Yeah.
Mike Wazowski.
The great.
Mike Wazowski.
Wazowski.
Mike
Mike
Wazowski.
Wazowski.
Mike
Let's
Wazowski.
not forget about him.
But yeah, Ohana is very near and dear to me. Like we all, as I get older and I process, you know, if you had asked me at a different point in my life, it'd probably be different. But like when it comes down to the heart of it and the matter of it, and throughout my journey, it really does come down to just Ohana for sure. You know, as cliche as Lilo and Stitches. But,
No. Us locals, that's like premier, right? We gravitate. Our whole life is just the hub of it is our family.
Yeah.
And
And
I hope
a lot of people mention that about us up here. They always talk about just our culture and the love that we have, and you know, just the relationships that we have. And I see it too, because it's just different. You know, the way like people lack consideration, even within family relationships in Ohana, like something that I would do for my brother unconditionally, like I don't see that from other people that I know up here that aren't, you know, of our culture or
Yep.
Hawaiian. So it's a real thing. You know, people see it. They do. They see it.
Isn't that refreshing though? That's like saying we're doing our jobs, because when other
Yeah.
people see what made us special and unique, like we kind of did our jobs at that point in time, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Transmitting
There's
aloha.
something special about Hawaii,
Yep.
for sure.
Yep. Transmitting aloha. Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that's what our generation's doing right now. Our generation's like, we got to bring back the culture because generation before us lost it, right?
Right.
I
I don't think that was fully their fault too, because like I didn't even know it was illegal to like speak Hawaiian at one point, and they took away our history from us, right? If I'm not
Yes.
mistaken.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's like I can understand how like it got lost because of all that shit that happened.
I like how
But
this
I'm still
generation's starting to be like, fuck that. We're going to bring it back.
Yeah. We need to.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they only took away the law for speaking, like, against speaking Hawaiian in 1986.
Oh,
Right,
okay.
really
Oh,
recent-
86.
yeah,
Okay,
it's
yeah.
Really recent history.
That's fairly recent then.
Super
Okay.
recent. And, you know, I think that even beyond that, like 86 and beyond, it was more of like the lifestyle and culture that the 80s presented to people, where dad go work, mom stay home with the kids. She's cleaning up the house, doing her thing. The kids are at school. They come home, they watch TV, eat dinner, and do homework, go sleep, right?
Rat
That's like,
race.
Yeah.
it's that routine.
Yeah.
And Hawaiian culture was never a priority in that wheel. And I think nowadays, like, fuck, we're making it a point to, like, show our culture to our kids as a priority now, you know?
That's the blueprint, right? That's the way to crush
Yeah.
any culture is capitalism.
Yep.
Suck them into
Yeah,
the rat
yeah.
race, and now they're a part of the system, and they have to do what
Yeah.
you need them to do in order to survive in this society. And you just fucking move them further away from their traditions of not having to be involved in this cycle where they were subsistent, sustainable on their own.
And you got free
It's perfect.
thinkers, right?
It's-
Like yourself.
Were.
You got free thinkers like
Pardon?
yourself. You got free thinkers like yourself who is like, I'm not going to do the rat race. I'm going to follow my dreams and be a fighter. But then again, in retrospect, you can't afford it here in Hawaii because it's unrealistically expensive. But
Sure.
you travel to Utah to further your career, right, in hopes of coming back home. But come up with a brand that's able to stay true to the roots, right, and project that, like, I want to be there. This is where my heart's at. And that's the number one thing, right? Like, that's our generation speaking right there. It's like, no matter where I'm at, I'm still tied to Hawaii. I'm going to come back. Like, fuck you guys. You think you got rid of me. No, that's just, I got to gather my shit and I'm going to come back. And that cultural fucking link that our generation has, I think it's going to steamroll to the generations after it, you know, preceding us.
Absolutely.
You know, so that's, to me, that's a big positive
That is.
look.
I don't know. I made eye contact with Turtle Doves over there, and he was making faces at me, and then I was just listening to you talk, and for some reason I felt like making a face too. Sorry, my bad.
No, I like that. I like that push in the fucking right direction for our culture, because, you know, our parents and the parents before us, or our grandparents, are just stuck in that rat race.
I feel like
Stuck in the rat race that they got. Yeah.
This
Correct.
Downfall of society with this degeneration of morals and, you know, just general decency was orchestrated and planned. Like, the internet has desensitized us to the sense of closeness to our neighbors and community. You know what I mean? Big cities make your fellow people in your community an inconvenience, right? How mad at you are at people you don't know in traffic. Everybody, right? You hate everybody in traffic. But these people, if you lived in a small town, you probably would get to know them and probably be their friend. Even if you lived in a neighborhood and you get to know your neighbors back then. But now, people don't really talk to their neighbors. I mean, I'm somewhat guilty of it, but I don't feel totally bad because there's a couple of neighbors that we talk to and we interact, you know, we're friendly with and shit. We don't, like, hang out and stuff, but, like, we're close enough that, like, if we were to need them, or they were to need something from us, we can, like, reach out.
Sure.
But there's definitely a lack of that because people feel isolated in a sense, you know what I mean? And their community is not the real interaction of human to human. It's based across the internet a lot of times.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad. I feel like it is the plan. That's, like, what they wanted.
Yeah. The lack of connection. You know what I mean? Like, you see it so much. Even everybody's just here.
Yeah.
You know? Like, why aren't you talking to each other and getting to know each other? I mean, even within my own household, like, we're all guilty of it. I try to have substantial conversations, but I don't know if it's just a different mindset or whatever. It's just sometimes not, you know, like, I wish it could get deeper sometimes, because that's how you really get to the heart of things. And yeah, there is a lack of connection now because of the internet and everything. And then there's also those weirdos who, like, you're one way on the internet and then you're not even that, like, in real life. Like, what the hell?
So fucking
like,
weird.
I hate that shit.
An online
you know?
alter ego. And I think it's the moral disconnection of people with the because, you know, they can create their own identity. So that identity doesn't have to abide by society's morals. You can fucking free to do whatever you want in your own little world. That's what, like, Instagram is, right? It's your own little world of what people want, what you want people to see of you. And that's a fucking false sense of reality. Like, getting punched in the face bare knuckle is probably the biggest reality check people could have nowadays.
I tell you, it's as real as it gets. For sure.
Fuck.
And not everybody can, it's not made for everybody. Not everybody can do bare knuckle. I think a lot of our Hawaii fighters could, but you're definitely a 1%er, you know, for sure.
Right.
My opinion.
Totally.
Fuck yeah,
that's
dude.
like a category of athlete that is, like, in its own. Like, there's, you know what I mean? It's fucking.
There's no athlete like a bare knuckle fighter because you're training like as if you're in the NFL, but you ain't got pads on. You know, how many people you see get dropped and tear their ACL?
Not to totally derail us again. You seen the new thing where people are just running head on at each other and just smashing into each other and see
gonna
who's
happen for a
standing.
while.
It's called like straight line or like fucking whatever. And it's all these.
It's called
huge
machine guns when
It's
you
all
play
these
football.
huge Maori guys that are fucking from New Zealand. They just fucking boom, and they
Called
just
I
hit.
want a concussion.
Yeah, it's like CTE fucking fast track.
Broken collarbones on the wide,
Dude, it-
guarantee.
Another one though where they have like, you know how they have like the slap competition.
Yeah,
Now they
yeah, yeah.
have like the fucking.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The fucking.
But
leg,
you know
the
what,
leg
though?
kick one though.
Mhm.
It's like you want to fucking just
Yeah,
break
go
your
ahead.
leg, just like fucking. They just stand there and let each other fucking leg kick each other. You see those ones?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
fuck,
what about slap?
No. I wasn't. All I was gonna say about bare knuckle. There's a little bit of history because bare knuckle was the thing before.
Boxing.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's also studies. It's still. I mean, we're still a young sport, but there has been studies that have shown that we take less damage to the brain because it ends quicker.
Right.
People don't punch as hard because you gotta like, what I punch I go for broke because I don't care. Like it doesn't phase me. But a lot of people don't, you stop on shit because you can't follow through and everything. So far, like we've been the more healthier fighters. But I
The-
mean that can change. But I mean studies have been showing that so far.
The
So I guess we'll see how it
The
progresses.
damage you guys take as bare knuckle boxers is more gruesome because it's a lot more bloodier, but in reality it is
Sure.
more superficial, right? Unless you're
Superficial.
breaking
Yeah,
your
uh-huh.
orbital socket or some crazy your jaw, but like
Uh-huh.
most of it is just cuts. Stitches will take care of it.
Well, I heard a lot of it is hand injuries.
Yeah, that's the
A-
thing, right?
A
Mm-hmm.
lot of it is hand injuries.
You
like,
gotta pick your shots more
Mhm.
carefully, unless
Yeah.
like you just fucking swing.
Yeah.
But yeah, like
you
you gotta
gotta
be.
be more
No, I
precise.
watch you
Mhm.
set up your punches. Like I've watched a couple of your fights and your left hand that you set up. Like especially that one girl in MMA, right? It's was that Invicta where you dropped her with the right?
Nope, I don't think so. It was you probably saw the Angela Lee fight. That was me punching.
Oh, that was Angela
in-
Lee. Oh
Mhm.
shit! You cracked
Yeah.
her fucking dirty. She dropped.
Yeah. You talking about the red? I was in all
Yeah.
red mat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Destiny, Angela Lee.
Oh shit!
Mhm.
Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some bloody end results to the bare knuckle fights.
But then again,
Yeah.
MMA, like even on the
Same.
ground,
It
like for you run into someone's head, someone's knee, and
Mhm.
get cut that way,
Exactly.
it's
And
still
plus,
gonna
too, when you
happen.
get
Elbow.
cut, when you get cut open with an elbow or a kick to
Yep.
the face, you're also
Yep.
getting the brain part too because they're following completely through, right? There's no holding back, like you're not like, yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah. You
Back
do.
in the day, it started
then
with people fighting
boxers-
like this, yeah. Put up your dukes.
Yeah, yeah.
And they used to wear pants and shoes, and they used to fucking fight in black and
Yep.
white, and then somebody went
And their
and
mouth guard was just a thick mustache.
yeah. That protects my lip. But no, yeah.
That's
You ever seen where they
the
like
Mr. Freeman
recolor
mustache.
those old fights? They take the black and white photos and recolor them, and just to see how fucking
wow.
bloody the dudes were, dude, it's like bare knuckle shit.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's in
So-
human DNA to just want to fucking.
It is. It's a combat sport at its fucking truest. You know what I mean? Like,
at its purest. And I
pure.
hope to get more fighters inspired back home to try it, cause yeah, it's good shit. It's a good outlet.
It's like going from bungee jumping to fucking straight skydiving, right? It's like for real. The
Yeah.
intensity level is fucking crazy. What do you feel before going out there, and like right before you're about to, when the curtains open and you see the crowd and you're walking down the hallway, about to jump into the ring? What are you feeling at that point?
I try to always like mentally prepare myself, so composure is always key for me now, because if I let my brain or you let your energy run off, you can lose so much of that before you go into the fight, just from like, prior experiences in earlier fights. I still feel nervous no matter what, because I'm human, but just a lot of just focusing on what I'm about to do, the things that we've done, game planning, going through all my different scenarios, and just staying in a zone. You got to be in some kind of a flow state zone in order to compete in there, and just know that and also a sense of peace for me, weirdly enough. If I don't go in there with peace, I think I perform worse because I've done it, like going in with peace and then not with peace. So just a combination of things: peace, mental preparation, making sure I breathe. That's important, a little bit of nerves, but we get it done. We go in there and we just scrap, and you know, that's what we do.
That's real shit. It's like the path of the peaceful warrior, like how you just said. Like, you have to be calm to be effective. If you're gonna go based off of anger or excitement, you see it time and time again. The gas outs, the adrenaline dumps, the game plan going out the fucking window and just swinging in air.
Yep.
What do you like to do as far like when you're in the gym and stuff? Like, what is something that you feel is a drill that'll benefit you the most?
Just making sure I always tighten up my fundamentals and go back to that and staying sharp, making sure my chin is down and just sticking to the basics. Also, heavy conditioning is a key for me because that's always been kind of my problem. I can punch pretty hard, and I think sometimes I gas myself out too much. So just always focusing on like the conditioning, staying loose as opposed to like,
Spazzy,
yeah, understanding my, I play with different distances, just everything. At this point, it's literally everything. I work inside, outside, lateral angles, just trying to constantly get better. If you watch all of my fights, I'm a different fighter every time I go in there.
Right.
I feel like I'm the type of fighter, like, you want me to do something because I have all this experience. Like, I can just fight the fight that you need me to fight. And this fight coming up, it's going to be a really, really good fight for me. It's going to be a big fight. This girl is a former UFC top 10 prospect. And I'm looking forward to it because I'm ready for it. But yeah, there's just a lot that goes into it. Mental preparation, footwork, staying balanced. Again, understanding different distances, understanding your strikes from different distances, trying to attack lateral as much as possible, keeping your head off the center line, chin down, eyes up, and breathing. Just so many different things for me. But
how well does
I try to prepare myself.
How well does baiting fit into your game plan?
Oh, like fainting and shit?
Yeah. Or just moving in a direction where you know that she can only throw a couple of punches and setting a trap for that.
Right. I feel like I've been working a lot that more recently, especially because I like to fight open stance. So if they're south, I'm going to fight ortho. If they're ortho, I'm going to fight south because I want to play that outside. I like to fight for that outside. The outside.
Interesting.
I like to take those different angles.
So you like to
like I'll go. Yeah, I like to kind of go that way. But then when I see them going that way, I'll like make my inside cuts. But I always try to press the outside for sure.
Is it
I like to fight the outside.
Is it because you're beating him to your power hand?
I feel like I am baiting him with I feel like I fight ambidextrous, so
that's awesome.
Both of my hands are fairly powerful, in my opinion. Because if you watch like my earlier MMA fights, like I set it up with I set up that left hook and then that straight right, and I can do that both ways now. So
nice.
I like to look for that.
So as far as conditioning go, what is like a fight camp conditioning for you?
Shark tanks, making sure I got fresh bodies in there, making sure I do my bag rounds and pushing myself through that, sprinting, just a little bit of everything. Just inside fighting, Greco-Roman stuff. Yeah, and just doing rounds and rounds and rounds on end for sure. I do weighted weighted work, like I'll put like my backpack on or a weighted vest, and I'm moving, like blah blah blah, like like that too, and really getting my legs prepared because I like to like my power comes as I like sit into stuff. So
Right.
just keeping my legs as strong and conditioned as possible under me.
Right.
So
Because you like to plant and bomb out, right?
I do.
That's
I
awesome.
do, but I gotta be a little bit more tactical with that.
Right.
I feel like my last fight, I wouldn't have got caught as much if I didn't get so trigger happy. So I think my pride and my ego got the best of me in that one because I was co-main event. It was last minute replacement. Obviously, she was another girl thinking she could steamroll over me. I caught her, clipped her really good, saw her eyes just like what the fuck, and just kind of went trigger happy, and then we're just trading back and forth. And that's how I got caught, in my opinion. And then like when she was hitting me back, instead of me like sometimes resetting, breathing, regathering, I just went because like, oh, you fucking bitch, you hit me. In my head, I'm like, oh yeah, this bitch just hit me. Okay, I'm gonna hit her right back. So then that shit happened. So
Do you talk
Yeah,
shit
I
like
think
that
that-
in the middle of a fight where like, oh, you fucking bitch, and you fuck as you're moving back in after you catch a good one, you say out loud, you fucking bitch. Fucking catch your crap,
Yeah,
son.
next time I go in, but yeah, in my head I was like, oh, this fucking bitch didn't hit me. Okay, I gotta get her right back. So,
Fuck yeah, that's awesome, dude.
but yeah, just trying to like be more tactical because I could have beat her, if I paced it better. I still want to look to press and blitz because I'm not a boring ass fighter to where I'm just gonna, but I got to be more tactical about it. So
Totally. You know what's crazy? I was watching some of John Lineker's videos and like how he was explaining his setups. That dude's a lot more technical than people think. Like, you think he's just swinging and fucking. There's a reason why he can do it for 5 rounds in an MMA fight, is because he's setting up the power shots. It just looks like he's bombing out on the guy, but like that last Brazilian, he said that he punched his hand to pull it away from his chin, and the left came and fucking just socked the guy. I mean, like, that's such a cool tactic, right? I'm just gonna try and punch his hand to open his guard and then sleep him.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, I like to go.
That's
I like
strategy.
to. I've been working the body a lot because I like to. I've been noticing I do that. Their hands start to drop, and then I'll come up top. So that's something that I've been working more now too. Is like body stuff, like level changes for sure, and then short feints to see how they react. If they stay, I'll go. If not, then we reset. But yeah, I've been liking the setups of the body stuff because it just they start doing this, their hands start dropping, and I'm just like boom. So expect to see some of that in this fight.
that's what's
I mean,
up.
I'm gonna look for it. So
And it's a prestigious name that you're gonna fight, right? So to be able to demonstrate that tactics on that high caliber fighter, it just sets you up for God knows what, another opponent. I mean, would you say that a belt would something you'd be talking about after, say if you finish this next opponent? Is there something that like you'd be talking about?
I want to. I mean, that's the end goal with this. Like I do, like the goal is always for a belt. But at the same time, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But I always work for it. I always work towards that. I've fought high level people my whole life. I mean, I've trained with UFC fighters. I've trained with Max in the past and Russell and even like all the girls. So it's not like this girl is any different. She's the same as them. And I take pride in the people who I've trained with in the past and the people who I've fought. She's not even the biggest person I fought. This girl fought Paige Van Zandt, who was smaller than me, and she didn't finish Paige Van Zandt. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm not taking her lightly, but I'm also like, I know who I fought, and I know who I've trained with, and I know who I continue to train with, and I'm gonna take all of that mana'o with me into this fight.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
How much
It's
of that?
confidence in your training.
I
and your
love it.
skills.
I love the confidence. I love the no bullshit attitude. It's like, I train for this shit. There's no reason for me
Yeah.
not to do it. Fuck it, you know.
Yeah. It's
That's
just
what's
work
up.
for us. Should be work, you know. It's like, what is your like? Because there are girls who dodge fights or they don't take fights. There was another girl offered to fight me, but she didn't fight me.
Mm.
She didn't. Yeah. Before this girl accepted, which is cool because I'd rather fight somebody who's ready, who's skilled. I don't. I don't like to fight people who are unprepared. That just doesn't teach me anything.
Yep.
So, she's automatically said yes. I'm assuming because she thinks she's going to steamroll through me. Great. Cool. You got another thing coming, though. You
Yeah.
can talk to everybody who's fought me. So,
Yeah, clip that. Tag her in it.
Oh shit!
yeah,
Did we just become fight
Yeah.
promoters?
Guess so, dude.
yeah, go for it. Go for it. I don't mind that because once I make the announcement, I'll clip it. I'll put it in there for sure.
Hell yeah, dude. No, yeah. There's so much. I mean, if you do what you're training to do, I mean, who else is there? You know, who's a champion in your weight class?
I don't know. I didn't even look it up.
Yeah,
I don't know if
for
it's
real.
vacant right now. It
Oh,
might
yeah?
be vacant. I gotta double check.
Mm.
Yeah.
Shit, right there,
That's a
man.
good question.
And
Take
versus
that,
good
take that,
question.
take that, take that.
versus
Yeah.
what was it, Destiny you fought in?
Yeah.
So
I fought in Destiny quite a bit.
how's the payout on bare knuckle? I've always wondered that.
Hey, that's not polite
I've
to ask,
gotten-
bro.
No, as far
I've
as
gotten-
versus, right?
I've gotten more than I have in Invicta, like in my MMA fights for sure. The payout has been better for me.
No shit.
And yeah, it's been better for me than in my MMA bouts.
Wow.
So
I've always
Mhm.
wondered that because, like, you hear some fighters that are like, yeah, bare knuckle pays me. Like, Mike Perry says it all the time, right? Bare knuckle pays
Right.
me way more than UFC did.
some of them do. Some of them get the pay. For me, I'm not there yet, but like I still got a better payout than like other bare knuckle fighters because of my background and where I got put in at the time. So I was grateful for that. But yeah, there is good money to be made in it for sure. Like
That's sick.
John Bernard makes a good chunk of change on like his fights. Like it's pretty decent.
Yeah.
And his first two fights in BKB, the promotion that I'm a part of, wasn't as much, but then he built up, his reputation by winning and dropping people, and like he gets paid pretty well now. So
That's what's up. And that's the ultimate
Yeah.
goal, right? Like you guys put up so much. And it's not only physical sacrifices, it's mental sacrifices too. Being away from home, training just to know that there's someone out there that is training and then wants to inflict damage on you. That's mental stress that you're dealing with. Like compensation is gotta be part of the conversation, right? Like
Yeah,
100% of the
sure.
time. Yeah, you're a warrior and warriors do it for the fight, but at the same time, like you're also a human being that needs to provide for herself and have a comfortable living. So it's good to know that bare knuckles making more than MMA. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
depends on your experience. They might shortchange you if you're not like, like I had Invicta under me and I had MMA background under me. So like they gave me a good amount, but definitely just starting out, I'm not too sure. So I cannot say anything for that. However, but there is still good money to be made there for sure.
Yeah, and it's
I don't think as much as the UFC yet, but I think it'll get to a point, where it'll grow to that. So
I mean, shit, I love watching it. Like that's kind of the coolest sport to watch right now. Like I've watched was it Mike Richmond, that last fight he had?
yeah,
That was a fucking
Yeah.
crazy fight, man.
that was up here in Utah, right? The one
Yes.
just
Yeah.
Sydney. Mm-hmm.
That was
Yep.
a crazy one, and that dude's tough as nails. And you see that those types of fights happen all the time in bare knuckle, and that's fucking that's epic, bro.
I think a lot of the bare knuckle fighters, I'll reiterate what they say. I think people can relate to it more than sometimes they can jujitsu or MMA or whatever. I mean, you got people like Joe Rogan them who commentate you through the sport, But if you're just like you're not watching UFC or like or whatever, like it's just more relatable. If you shut off the volume to a bare knuckle fight and an MMA fight, you're gonna understand a bare knuckle fight much more than you'll understand an MMA fight,
Yeah.
And I think that's what people gravitate to is the relatability of it and the understanding of the scrap.
Right.
But let's not get it twisted. You still got to know your shit in there, and it's not just some dumb brawl, like.
Yeah. Well, you
gotta
know who's
still be-
winning off bare knuckle.
Yeah.
If you look at it, you know who's winning off bare knuckle. It's not really like, I mean, there's razor close decisions, but all in all, you can kind of determine who's winning that bare knuckle fight based on like
Yeah.
the rounds.
That's
But there are those crazy swings where like, oh, never saw that one coming, and like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Even in
Yeah, yeah.
MMA, boxing, I mean, it happens in all like
Yeah.
fight sports where like the dude who was apparently losing catches that one and just rocks the opponent, and boom, it's over.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah,
sometimes
absolutely.
amazing to see when it's like, oh shit.
The greatest one was the Scott Sapp and the one he punched him in the fucking liver, and then he
talking
went
about,
in
like,
to
Rocky.
try and fucking finish him, and Pete Sell, the Matt Serra's fucking boy, he cracked
Okay.
him and knocked him out. That was fucking crazy. That was like video game shit, man.
Wait,
That
was that MMA or a bare knuckle battle?
That was MMA. That was
Oh, okay,
UFC back
okay.
in the day.
Gotcha.
Spike TV, UFC.
Oh, yeah.
Here, you can like this just because I want you to compliment me again.
Oh,
Usually we
you like
roll
the
a
foreplay.
3-paper fatty, but that's just
Hell
2
yeah.
papers because I'm still not up to par, but I tried my best.
It stands up on its own. That's the main thing. That's a test right there.
That's
Yeah.
what's up. That's what's up.
That's what's up. 2 paper. It's hard to make a crutch because the crutches aren't very long.
You got to do 2 of them.
I did. No, I didn't. I lied. I didn't. I just
Such
did
a
one.
fucking liar. It's so funny. I did.
My
No, I
zigzag
didn't.
part I did too, but the encapsulating roundness of it was just one. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean.
By the way, how's the fit, guys? Did we get the sizes right?
Your
on
XLs
shirts?
fit really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the
Okay.
feel of
Well
the
done.
cloth, and like your print's awesome.
Right on.
Good stuff.
The
Good stuff.
embroidery's really good too in the hat.
Good. That'll hold color forever. For real. Like we take pride in the quality of our stuff. So I'm glad that you guys like it.
Yeah, I'm glad
More
that
will
you
be
focus on
coming your
that.
way.
Yeah, nice. I'm glad you focus on the quality because there's a lot of
We do.
times where like people are like, oh, put out a brand, and you get it and it cracks and shit, and this looks
Yeah,
horrible.
that's not gonna crack on you. And like I told you, now that I got the manufacturers back home, things are gonna be like way cheaper to like produce and like ship out.
Nice.
And then I am talking to your friend Kona. I just gotta get
nice.
like my logos and stuff to him so he can give me quotes on the embroidery and stuff because we only
Nice.
do embroidery. We love the way it looks, and we
Shout
yeah,
out to
it's
Print Shop
quality.
Hawaii, man.
Yep.
One of
Quality
our wonderful
over-
sponsors.
Yes.
That's
Cool
not
guy.
the reason why I recommended him. He's actually a really good printing guy, a super friendly guy, and like working with him is really easy. Like he's from the North Shore when you talk to him and when you do business with him because it's like yeah whatever, no worries, I'll help you out. He's so
Nice.
he's so awesome, bro. So
Nice. That's
Want to
solid.
pass that to the production crew?
I'm trying to, but they're making like they're sleeping.
They're
over
sleeping over there.
Yeah.
Wake up! Put a little makeup.
I like it.
What kind of music do you like to listen to in like the locker room before you're getting ready for a fight, or even like if it's different from when you're training? Like, what do you like to hear?
I listen to our island in training. It's island music, reggaeton, stuff with a beat, hip hop, rap. Fight day, I listen to a lot of podcasts from like one of my favorite athletes, Kobe Bryant. So I listen to a lot of podcasts,
wow.
fight day and fight night. So
Um,
yeah.
Is that more of like a distraction for your brain? No.
No, it gets me inspired and motivated to go out there and do what I know I can do and he was a really good example of being fearless because, I mean, yeah, I thought he was a good example of being fearless.
Fuck
So
yeah, he was.
he wasn't like afraid to like go like his first 8 years in there, like he was who he didn't like, like he had air balls and all. He had to work, like he was talented, but he had to work his ass off still yet.
Well, coming
'Cause
out
he
of
got
high
his ass
school, right?
handed to him. Yeah, he got his ass handed to him in the NBA when he first came in, and fuck, he still went jam him, and he went up against the best of the best, and he wasn't afraid to do it. So yeah,
He got to play
he has
against
a lot
Michael
of good,
Jordan
like,
in his last season.
Yeah.
That's
mhm.
cool.
Yeah, that is pretty dope.
What is your favorite podcast to listen to?
Going to be you guys now, but
Hey.
besides
Hey,
you guys,
good, correct.
I do like.
That is the correct answer, actually.
Yep.
Send us your address. We're gonna mail you a Pakalolo farmer shirt.
Everyone.
Hell yeah.
And some
But yeah,
lanyards.
going to be you guys now. Besides you guys, I do Rogan, because Rogan, he's popular. I like Rogan a lot. I like Candace Owens a lot. I think she provides a platform where you actually think for yourself. And
My girlfriend
then
got
I
me into
just listen to-
Ologies one. Have you seen Ologies?
No.
no.
That's actually a really good fucking podcast. This lady brings on anybody that's dealing with an ology, biology, zoology, and then she brings that specialist on, and they talk about their specialty, and they usually go off in tangents of really interesting shit. Like the
That's cool.
volcano
Okay.
one was pretty neat.
Volcanology.
Something like that.
Name
yeah.
it, name a topic, and then we'll come up with the ology for it. Go
Volcanology,
like name a
I-
thing, and then we'll guess what the ology of that thing is. Like
Ghosts.
like a thing.
like ghosts. Oh, fucking
Concrete.
spiritology. What is no? There probably is a word, right, for ghosts.
Yeah, that
Demonology.
sounds-
There you go. Say less. Don't say the name because it gives them power.
socks.
Socks.
Good one.
I think
Psychology.
that would fall under like podiatry, right?
Podology. Gotta be ology. Gotta be ology. Or kinesiology because the study of feet and the way. I don't
No,
fucking know.
kinesiology.
I
is
know.
like-
I was trying to just fucking make it fit by a thin thread of connection.
It worked.
But anyway, that was a fun game.
You won. Nah, it's good. Like we had a lot of people come and go on live. Just
Too bad they couldn't
tuning in.
hear
Yeah.
Monica though. That would have been better.
Yeah, we should have put the lav mic inside the earphone.
That's what I suggested, but I feel like it just would have been way too uncomfortable.
Yeah.
hat you could put on your
Or we could have plugged in a third or fourth headphones and put it in between there. But
That's okay. We'll have you on again.
when you're back,
Yeah.
we'll have you on in
July.
person. July,
Yeah,
you said?
for
Okay.
sure. I'll definitely do it. I'll be home for fight camp.
Okay,
I
so
look
it'll be
forward
for a
to
while.
it. So
Where you training?
And
where
it's
you
a good
training at while
thing
you're
Bare Knuckle doesn't drug test.
yeah, I know for real. Yeah,
here? So while you're here, where are you training at?
I'm gonna be in Townside with my cornerman. I think he can take me to a couple of the boxing like King. Is it Kingsman? I don't know if that's the name of it,
That's
but
Kalei
there's
Kwan,
some
yeah?
box-
No, that's
I
not.
don't
That's not.
There's one I seen at Kalakaua District Park in the rec center.
Yeah.
They have it's a big one, like all ages, and it's like a pretty.
I know Pakalolo boxing
Popular.
gym was good for a while too. Yeah.
I trained a little bit at Pakalolo and Kalakaua actually, like back in the day when I first started MMA. So yeah.
I'm gonna name
That's some
drop.
boxing.
Name
Shout
drop,
out
do
to
it.
Eiichi Jumawan. You ever train under him?
No.
He's Grace Bible Boxing. He got a spot in
Whoa.
Kapolei, but he fought Thomas the Hitman Hearns. So shout out to Uncle Eiichi, man.
Oh hell.
That's
he
one of the
still
local.
training?
Yeah, he's training people, and that's one of the local boys from Wahiawa that actually was the first. Like he turned pro, and actually got to
Okay.
fight big names like Thomas the Hitman Hearns.
Nice.
Fucking cool,
Yeah.
man.
Bruh, you remember Mark the Shark Oshiro? He was so good.
Yes, we went to
used to pick
school
on
with him.
Erik.
He used to pick on me when we were in high school. Nah, he never picked on me. That's a inaccurate depiction. But there was.
Oh, you went to school with him?
Yeah,
Pro City,
we
both
all
of us.
did. Yeah,
Okay.
he was a
What
couple
the hell
years
happened
younger.
to him?
He worked in Pearl Harbor last time I heard.
Okay.
Yeah, he was also
like
like
him.
a legend, man.
Yeah. Him and Dustin Kimura too.
Yup.
That was like the early 2000s era of
one-
Hawaii MMA when they were fighting, when they
Right.
were coming up.
Dustin Kimura beat Jorge Masvidal.
Yeah. He did?
Yeah,
He did, yeah.
A reverse triangle when Masvidal stood up, he just fucking blacked out, and I'm like, dang,
Dang, that's crazy.
that is pretty dope.
History, bro. Robbie Lawler. I saw Nico fought Robbie Lawler.
Yep, and then so
Robbie
did
Lawler
Nico's
wasn't from
sister.
Hawaii though. He just fought out of Hawaii.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Iowa. He was from
Yeah.
Iowa.
Yeah, he's not from. Let's just say not from Hawaii.
Yeah.
And another one
Yeah.
who's out of Hawaii but not from Hawaii is Jason Mayhem Miller. I fucking love that guy.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Wait, they were training down here? I thought they just got pulled down for fights. So they were
No.
training down here.
The first couple fights they got pulled down, and then Jason Miller came over here to train at HMC.
And he stayed for a
Oh, yeah.
long
I used
time.
to train at HMC.
Yeah, he was
Mhm.
doing the seminars at HMC and a couple classes and shit while he was down
That's
here.
crazy.
And
you
he
know,
was doing
HMC.
commercial for Fighters Corner in Kalei.
Yes, I remember
And
that.
That's where I get that from. That I keep saying
And
beautiful
Bully Beatdown, right?
Yep.
Bully
Did he
Beatdown.
do-
He had the TV show. Yep. Another great show just for
Bro,
the premise of it. But
they had guys
that's where I get-
fighting fucking Bobby Green and shit.
That's where I get the beautiful wherever we're at, or beautiful wherever you say, because in that commercial for Fighters Corner or whatever it was, he goes, here in beautiful Kalihi, and it seems like, oh, okay. But like,
he knew what he was saying.
you know, there's beauty everywhere, so just recognize that. Thanks to Jason
That's
Miller.
right.
You never know, Jason Miller could impart some wisdom
Well,
and
there
change
is
lives.
beauty everywhere because, like, I have a Chinatown shirt in my collection because that's a place that's near and dear to me. I work there, you know, like, and there's history there. But Chinatown isn't the prettiest during the day or night, you know. But like, you're right, there is beauty everywhere. So
With the right sepia
that's-
tone, it's beautiful.
yeah.
Sleeping.
Oh, that's
Chris
so
Lieben,
funny.
yeah.
It's beautiful. Kalihi.
Even Jake Kuhn. Jake Kuhn was a big prospect to come out of here.
Oh, wait, say that name again.
Jake Kuhn. Remember Jake Kuhn? The,
Oh, yeah,
the
that
football
sounds
player?
familiar. That's right.
He was a
That
UH
does sound
football
very
player,
familiar.
and he was smoking people over here.
I thought it was Pat Owens. No.
No, Chad Owens, he did MMA as well, but like Jake Kuhn played with him. I believe he was like a
Okay.
lineman or a middle linebacker, but he's a white boy from Alaska. But he
Okay.
lived in Hawaii and he trained with Chris Lieben, and yeah, that dude was a fucking smasher, man.
Oh, shit.
Hawaii is a
That's
pillar
so
of so many things.
Bro,
I know.
yeah.
You know
And
what
it's
it is?
soon
Cabbage.
and soon gonna be bare knuckle at some point.
Cabbage.
We'll get it there. We'll get it.
What
there.
are like the blockades or the barriers that are stopping it from being possible here? Is it like the sporting commission that just doesn't want to sanction that
Probably.
that in
I
air
think
quotes
the same
violent of a
thing,
thing?
Mac. I think. Well, I don't know what UFC's deal was because Bellator came down, but I think for that it would be just the commissions and all the red tape that goes along with that and trying to get it sanctioned. But
Yeah.
I know John's been talking to BKB about trying to get it down there, and I think their BKB wants to at some point. So
Just gotta
I go,
lobby
I
to
make
the
a
right
statement in
people.
this fight. I can help promote that. You know what I mean? And it's gonna be, I heard it's gonna be their biggest fight as of up to that point, the one that I'm in. So that's exciting.
Hell
It's
yeah.
gonna be a new, yeah. So, yeah,
It's-
man. I just want to use my platform to bring it back home somehow.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and we totally could do that. Like how you said, Bellator brought it down. Like it's totally feasible. I was hearing a lot
Yeah.
about the Hawaii Tourism Association and their hand in bringing fighters out and shit like that. But then you can also argue that like
Are they for it or against it?
against it. What? Yeah, dude, they're against because it doesn't look good. And we heard this from fucking Sugar Shane at the X1 or was
Maybe
it?
I
X1?
don't I don't remember, but maybe I was this shocked then, but I'm still shocked because that sounds ridiculous and counterintuitive to the amount of tourism that it
Right.
could possibly generate.
Well, you think about the whole
Right.
facade of what tourism is in Hawaii, right? It's that sandy beaches, have a Mai Tai, and fucking grass skirts. You know what I mean? So the
but-
tourists don't want to pander to bloody fucking fighting.
Fuck that, we
Although,
do some
like-
Mai Tais and watch
Well, it's
people
not
knock
like
each
it's-
other
Bro, look
out.
at our local population in
Well-
Oahu of 1 million people.
I would,
Yeah.
in my acumen of the hospitality industry, I would say that it's just attracting an additional demographic of people who would be come to the
I
fight.
agree.
It wouldn't deter from the people who are coming for the white sandy beaches or the fucking Mai Tais, but they would
Absolutely.
attract the crowd who don't give a shit about sandy beaches. They live in England.
Now
We got fucking sandy beaches.
Explain that to someone who's
Yeah.
never taken a punch or has ever seen a fight
Yeah.
ever.
They
and
wear
it's-
aloha suits and sit behind
Or
desks
maybe
and
they
make
took
decisions.
a punch as a kid and totally fucking don't like that shit whatsoever. You think about those guys on the board. How are you going to convince them that this is a tourist attraction? That's a hard sell to those types of guys. Although you and I all know that, like,
Be
fuck
gambling.
yeah, that's
you
gonna
melt
bring-
you
Gambling,
you
know?
melt their icy hearts with a warm island song.
Money. Money.
Cue Elvis.
Just kidding, it's a South Park joke. But
Uh,
no, yeah, because that would be just. I think it would just be more, especially if it, like a UFC came. I know it's not like everybody's gonna turn up from all parts of the world to come to Hawaii for a UFC fight because the travel
lot-
costs are a lot. Because like in LA, anywhere in the mainland, the cheap alternative of driving to that destination opens it up to a wider economic demographic. But like to bring it to Hawaii, you're really only gonna get Hawaii people and the
But Bellator was
fanatical
fine
with
with
that.
that. Like,
Yeah,
Bellator was cool.
yeah,
That's why you just-
Bellator was
that's
that.
like you need a organization that knows that Hawaii ain't gonna be the money maker, but still want to put on a good show for the people of Hawaii because they
Right.
know that other big organizations aren't coming here for that reason. It's not a money
Right.
maker. It's probably a fucking
Well, we're
losing
not
thing.
we're not addressing the moneymaker thing on attendance is one thing, but it's not the moneymaker
Well,
thing
the
on pay-per-views.
pay-per-views.
Oh, yep, that's true.
So if you're
That's
selling
true.
a Hawaii image on the pay-per-view, you get
Yeah.
the Hawaii fighters that are eager and going to fight hard. And it's going to give them a show. Now you're putting
Yeah.
on this fucking show in Hawaii.
You could say that's where the tourism board steps in and says, in your advertisement for your MMA or fight, you
Mai
cannot
Tais and
use
grass
Mai
skirts.
Tais, you cannot use our sandy beaches. All you can use is B-roll of Kalihi and fucking fucking people fighting in Waikiki. No, that's it. No, I'm just kidding. But you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I see what you're saying in that sense.
They think it's an
Nowhere else
image
has,
thing.
like,
Yeah.
the output of fighters does it.
Amongst
how
other
many fucking
things.
fighters that make it from Hawaii, you know what I mean, compared to anywhere else.
Brazilians.
I mean,
Are you
that's
talking
a
on
whole
a state?
country.
Are you talking at a
I
state
guess
level?
by a state, I guess, because yeah, like Brazil's like a whole fucking country. You
Right,
know,
right.
like-
I don't know. I just point out to
Right.
like Shuto Box back in the day, and like everyone came out of Curitiba, and then everyone fucking killed everything in Pride. So it's like, you know, like those guys, the dynasties. So like, yeah,
Yeah, but
Brazil
that's a
does.
gym, right?
It's a gym, but it's located in one spot, one state, right?
Well, they bring in people from over there. I'm just talking about like, bro, like people that
Yeah,
born and raised coming out of
like
Hawaii,
grassroots.
The fighting out of
Yeah.
and the where they're born are two different things a lot of
Right.
times. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
But like
yeah.
for people from Hawaii, they're born in Hawaii and fighting out of Hawaii. You know, I mean, sometimes they go and fight out of other places where they train, but just to pay homage to
Right.
their camps and stuff like that. But like what you're saying, it's like it is interesting the number of like talent that comes out of here that are from here. You know,
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
Yeah.
Hawaii's in its own country in its own right.
what is that?
It is.
yeah. We're
Like Hawaii in itself should be compared to the rest of the United States. You can't be comparing like
Okay.
LA or Colorado or wherever the fuck these kind of
How
predominant
much
camps
guys
are at.
in the UFC already just from
Yeah.
Hawaii. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That brings us back to our fucking our other conversation about like Hawaii and wrestling. Like Hawaii's got good wrestling and it's starting to come up, but for the
Yeah.
kids in MMA, like watching the Midwest boys wrestle, you know, it's like,
Cornbread.
bro, they gotta fucking like when there's winter, there's nothing to
Fred.
do but just go to the gym and wrestle,
Yeah.
you know. Like us Hawaii dudes gotta see that, you know, in their training because I hate to see a
Right.
good.
They do. They do.
I hope so, because like I hate seeing a good guy that you know is talented striker and having this really prestigious wrestler just hold them down on the ground.
Yeah, it's like, damn it. It's like when your older brother pins you. I never had one, but I'm assuming it feels like this. I'll base it in my reality. When your older sister holds you down and, you know, you just can't do anything because they're stronger than you. You're like, fucking shit. I should have trained for you.
I think though the arts, the combat sports has come to a point now where there's so many different platforms where you can excel, because you have somebody like Raquel, who I fought, and she went into Invicta and she almost beat Amanda Nunes. I think there was just some kind of little slip up that happened, but she totally went transfer into jiu-jitsu platform, pure jiu-jitsu, and she's been super successful.
Right.
You know, I think now combat sports is at a place where you can find your niche, so to speak. You know, for me, I know it's bare knuckle. For some people, there's even stuff like karate combat.
Yep.
You know, and then you got
combat jiu-jitsu.
Combat jiu-jitsu. You know, 10 planets. So I think now there's opportunities for fighters who only want to strike. But the ones that are going to do MMA, yeah, they definitely need to see that high-level wrestling look for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you're so inclined, you can enter in a bout and dress up in a full knight armor suit against another man in a full armor suit with shields and axes and swords and fucking duke it out. I mean, there's so many.
If you're in a car and you want to do jiu-jitsu, they have car jitsu now.
Yeah, I saw that.
Nah.
Phone booth boxing.
People are strangling with the fucking seatbelt.
Boxing one. Oh my gosh.
Leave it to the Russians to fucking find a new way to just beat the fuck out of other people.
5-on-1 and shit.
Right?
Did you see that fucking one with Jake Shields and Nate Diaz?
No.
They were on this reality TV show, and they're like, hey, there's like, he said it was like 60 Chechens over there. And like one guy just goes up and just fucking picks a fight with Nate Diaz. And like, it's Nate and Jake Shields against like fucking 60 Chechens. And Jake Shields is like, I gotta de-escalate it because there's no way we're winning this fight. Like, there's all these Russians like mobbing them and shit. It's fucking crazy.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, it's out on YouTube right now. It's fucking crazy.
That's wild.
All right. Shall we wrap it up? What
Yes.
time is it? How long have we been recording for?
2:23.
Oh shit, that's pretty good.
That's good.
We know we thought you were in Florida, so it's not that bad. It's not as late
It's
as
like
we
1
thought, but it's
o'clock.
still late there, we know, so we don't want to keep you longer than
It's
2.5
okay.
hours.
Wow. That was awesome.
We
I love
appreciate
long
you.
form podcasts.
Right?
That's solid. Yeah.
It's a good talking story. You know what I mean? Like, get your message
Absolutely.
across. It's
Mhm.
awesome.
Absolutely. This is gonna be my new fight shirt too, by the way. So
Oh shit! I
See the
like
Hawaiian
flag,
flag, right?
Yep.
the Hawaiian flag is the sleeves. And then if you turn around, got the last name. So
Oh,
I don't know if you could see it.
that shit's
I don't know if you could see
clean.
it, but like, yeah. I'm excited. So
Fuck yeah! Well, good luck to you and your career.
Yeah.
It's moving forward. You're gonna kill it, and we support you here, and we're gonna be rooting
yeah.
for you over here.
we'll be staying in touch. So you're
Definitely.
good, man. I appreciate your guys' time. I appreciate how eloquent you guys speak. You know, that's one thing that people don't. They think about stigma about stoners and shit. You know, like they can't have, you know, conversations or speak intelligently, and you guys do a really good job of that. But
Thank you.
also keeping it like not all like super technical, like you know, like it's a good flow. So yeah, I appreciate it, you guys.
We try to go with Dexter's Laboratory meets Shaggy, and just meet in the middle.
Oh, this is episode 92. They
Fair.
had to learn to talk this way, I think.
Yeah.
Huh? No, I mean, there's.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
appreciate that. I thank you for that compliment. Because a lot of times I feel like, especially towards the end of these longs ones.
There you go.
long
Just
ones.
threw
See, it
everything out the
happens,
window.
See, it happens. But yeah, thank you. We appreciate you staying up and talking to us for this long,
Yeah.
and we hope to have you on again. And yeah, like Kalei said, good luck and knock them dead.
yeah.
I mean, they'll actually
yeah.
kill
We'll
anybody,
keep in
but
touch.
fucking hurt them.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be staying in touch. I'll be continuing to send you guys merch. Continue to spread brand awareness. Send me some selfies when you can. I gotta put it on my next
Oh, totally.
Instagram reel.
Totally.
Right
Hell
on,
yeah.
you guys.
Thank you so much, Monica.
Tell people where they can find you, where they can follow you on social media, brand stuff. Just plug all your stuff.
Okay, yeah. So Fearless Monica Franco 808 is my IG. Just Blaze Clothing Company. They can look us up. We have e-commerce, that's our website, justblazeclothingcompany.com. And I don't have a Twitter or an X. I do have a Facebook, Monica Franco. And yeah, be on the lookout. I'll be home soon and we will certainly stay in touch. And I appreciate you guys. Mahalo nui loa.
Hell yeah.
Hell
Check her
yeah.
out. 808 Just Blaze Clothing. Monica
Yes,
Franco.
Hawaii Vice 808
Hawaii Vice
is my
808.
collection under there too.
Hell
So
yeah.
right on, you guys.
Right
Take it
on.
easy,
Have a good
sis.
night.
Thank you so
You
much.
too.
Take care.
Oiho.
Same.
Bye.
Ahui ho.
All right. We don't want to keep her on while we do this sponsor stuff. We got to do that shit, but yeah, we could let her go because that's fucking cool. So yeah, wrap it up. Shout out to our sponsors, Mills Nutrients. Check them out. Mills pays the bills. No, millsnutrients.com. Mills does pay the bills, however. Also, Pakalolo Farmers. Check them out on Instagram for the best apparel this side of the Pacific Ocean. I mean, smack dab in the middle of it, but yeah, from all sides. And Kalei, the next one.
Shout out to J Hybrid Collective, getting all your heady and affordable pieces and all your smoking accessories. Check them out in Wiley. Hybrid Collective. Tell them Kalei and Erik sent you.
Yep, and friend of the podcast.
And kiss him on the cheek for you.
Yep. Flip his hair behind his ear and whisper gently into his ear that voice, or everyone knows your high sent me.
Yeah.
Kona at Hawaii Print Shop. Check them out for all your printing needs.
Proact Products. Check out Brother Nate for all your lighting needs. Proactproducts.com and IG Proact Products.
Yep. And Brutal Mars for our graphic design needs. He did our logo. Go check him out. Brutal Mars on Instagram now. Sorry we butchered your name for all those episodes, but
Brutal Mars.
yeah.
Let's keep it at that.
Brutal Mars. Go check them out.
Check out Meatlux, all your fine meat needs. Go check them out at meatlux.com. And also, before we close it out, I wanted to talk more about the ASV, the Aloha Seed Vault. Pushing out the Aloha Seed Vault. Tune in. We have a coming soon page out. So give you guys a little something to click on, alohaseedvault.com. And we're going to be sponsoring the pheno hunts. So aloha, guys.
Yeah, where else can they find you?
The Grow Guru. Check me out, Grow Guru Hawaii, and the Guru's Grow Supply.
Yeah, and follow me on Instagram and everywhere else at Voices from the Planet for all your podcast listening enjoyment. Check out the Come Together Podcast Network on Instagram too. Just follow it for now. If you're interested in doing a podcast, hit me up and we can talk story. It's a thing.
Yeah. All right, man.
What about our production crew?
That's right. They're
Turtle
so
Doves.
Vroom, vroom.
The silent foot.
What is that noise, dude?
I can't hear shit.
All right, check them out.
Weird.
That's horrible. What about you, Bud Naked? Where can people find you?
What is happening? They're snoring. They're not. They're sleeping right now. They're not
They
even
all
awake.
get loose futs.
Find me on Butt Naked. Find me on Instagram. You'll see me.
Hell yeah.
Check it out. All right. Thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far, be sure to follow, like, share, comment, do all that. Follow us on social media. You know what to do, you guys. Come on. Just tell all your aunties. Our demographic is aunties. So share it with them. Let them know how to click the button, because sometimes they're not as computer literate when it comes to like YouTube, just like I'm not literate when it comes to speaking. But yeah, be sure to
Fair enough.
spread the word, dude.
All right. Sounds
right.
good, buddy. Clap it out. That was horrible.
That was whack. That was whacker. Oh, god damn it. It's because it's my left, dude.
I'll settle for that.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Peace.